Anyways, hello everybody, welcome back to the stream. We're doing some more solo fighter. We're gonna get all the way to level 32 today in this sitting, and it should be a grand and fun time. I've just been running through all the expansions because expansions give a lot of experience points for the quests, and on top of that, they also give good gear when you complete them. So we're gonna be doing that. So we're gonna be heading up to Saltmarsh next and doing some adventures that are pretty good. However, one thing I wanted to do was to actually use my sentient weapon. So I have a sentient, or I have a Morning Lord's Bastion Sword here. Epic weapons, for those of you that don't know or aren't really experienced, they'll say accept sentience. Anything that's level 20 and up will accept sentience. Usually you don't want to make anything other than an endgame weapon, so level 29 and above, a sentient weapon. And to do so, you can take the sentient jewel that I picked up from Ravenloft. If you watched this earlier, I got one for free from the guy in there. There's also other places, but that's the easiest way to get one. Slap it in here, and then to level up the weapon, what you want to do is drop the drop named items into your weapon to level it up. So this, because it's level 29, will give me 290 sentient XP. Important note, if an item is level 25 or higher, you get 10 times the item's level in sentient XP. Anything below level 25, in my opinion, is not worth it to put in, because you don't get 10 times the amount. So just dumping them all in here and feeding the weapon. I don't think I have a lot of other stuff to feed the weapon, because I didn't pull a lot of items. But I have these ranged bracers. I'll put these in here, because I don't need them. And we'll go from there. But sentient weapons. Additionally, you can then use the filigrees that you've picked up, and you can put them in here. What are filigrees? I don't know if I have any, actually. Let me just double check. Filigrees here are little items. They're just like, think of them like little set pieces in and of themselves. This has a stat, so this gives 3 magical resistance rating. And when I have enough of the same ones, so Splendid Cacophony, not Splendid Cacophony magic resistance rating, but just Splendid Cacophony, I get the bonuses like Double Strike, or Positive Spell Power, or the Inspire Courage. A lot of them are themed. So Splendid Cacophony, a cacophony is a type of sound, so this is a bard adjacent thing. So just keep that in mind. They're clearly named, so you can keep in mind. Like Radiant Shield. Radiant Shield, shield. Defense. That's why it gives melee threat and magic resistance rating. So defense, shield. Next Fall is a bit trip oriented for giving you damage against trip targets. So just keep that in mind, that they're like differently oriented depending on what stats you actually need. And keep an eye out for the filigrees that you want to use on your characters. Anyway, we're going to continue by heading over to Saltmarsh and do some quests, and it should be a fun time.
Filigrees can also be used when making a Philly cheesesteak sandwich.
I guess so. Bummed that there are no filigrees for Isle of Dread. I guess we have a lot of filigrees, so I don't really care too much about it, because we have there's 3 generations of filigrees. There's the Ravenloft filigrees, the Sharn filigrees, and the Saltmarsh filigrees. All of them are quite good. I wouldn't be surprised if we get more filigrees in the future, but I'm also, not really. I don't really care too much about the fact that we didn't get a lot of extras, especially since sometimes it takes time for the builds to come out for people to use the correct filigrees or to use different amounts of them.
So what's on for today? Creatures to slay, evil overlords to depose.
Also, your sentient weapon will start talking to you once you put it in, so just keep that in mind. So the sentient weapon is now going to be talking to me for the rest of the adventure. You can turn it off if you want. I actually think, usually I wouldn't do this, but because of the video, since I'm not using my filigree, I'm going to turn it off. So how you do it is sentient weapon volume. I'm just going to turn it off there. We'll turn it on later. 3 packs of 3 filigrees now. Yeah. They probably should just put the Saltmarsh filigrees in those other packs. I don't know why they didn't. That's a great question. There's nothing specific about Saltmarsh that means they have to stay here. How hard is Zuggetmoy boss in hardcore? Never done the quest before. Zuggetmoy is quite dangerous. Because Zuggetmoy... yeah, Zuggetmoy is a pretty big deal. I'm going to put out actually here my big defense. It basically has like an instant kill attack, which is if you don't get under the blue mushroom, you're going to die. Also, you have to follow the debuffs. There's a guide on the wiki. I recommend you read it and explain it to everyone in your party before you do it. And if you're really unsure, do it on hard or normal before you do it on elite. Okay, so this quest, basically what you're trying to do is find your way to the bottom and leave. There's a key that can be in multiple places. First, if it's in this room, you can run up against this wall. If you get a little trigger on the edge of your screen that says, you think you might detect something, that means it's in here. You know, must-have augments while they're 75% off? No, I don't have any recommended must-have augments while they're 75% off. I'm going to grab this key.
You find a gold
key.
Rug in front of this window.
I'm gonna crack this door. The iron key that I need can also be here. Here we go, and there's the iron key. If the iron key is here, you have to fight a boss. So you have to kill, there's like a weep that spawns. If the iron key isn't here, you don't fight the boss. Making all minimal 32 augments was bad faith, making them viable. I mean, that might be viable from other sources in the future, I don't know. I do wish that Randall Lyric contained every single augment in the game. But the distribution of the augments, yeah, it's not a consistent system that will be expanding out into the future, which I don't really like. So augments that I think are good. Swiftness augments are pretty good. Because they give you attack and movement speed for level 20. They're really, really nice to have. Another one that's pretty nice is the well, I'm just thinking of store augments. You can get, dodge augments are nice, resistance augments are nice, death block augments are nice. Sometimes those stats can be hard to come by. Other unique stats, you can get max dex bonus on armor +2. It's just really nice to have because the max dex bonus on armor is noticeably very powerful and impactful on your character. So if you have the ability to get it, I would definitely go for it, since maximum dexterity bonus gives you more dodge chance, among other things. So I personally do like it a lot. I wouldn't say deathblock. You can get deathblock and fear immunity if you wanted to as additional augments. You don't need them, but you can get them. So I don't know why, but everything is so loud. Oh my gosh. Music in here is so loud. Also, unfortunately for me, when it comes to rust monsters, I still just want to kill them quick because I don't really have a good way to get rid of rust monsters efficiently on this character. I'm just going to try to... I don't have like a weapon that doesn't break when you fight rust monsters. I think it's the only one in Saltmarsh, so I think I'm okay for the most part. But yeah, so if you're looking for augments out of the store, I didn't even know they were 75% off sale. I guess the sales reset tomorrow, but I haven't really thought about it too much. I very rarely actually I very rarely pay attention to what the sales are in the store unless it's like storage. Something that's going to be long term.
I knew that rogue was useless, he says. Why our contact in town sent him to destroy.
Is it augments? Oh, it's on sale. Jeweler's toolkits as well. The sentience toolkits. That's not bad. It's not a bad deal. The Jeweler's toolkits sale. It's annoying that they're so expensive. Augment bag on cheap is not bad, but yeah, 75% off augments. Cool. I don't even know. The insightful stat augments can also be helpful depending on which stats you happen to need. I also don't know how this fight works, if I'm being honest. Like, is there only one real one, and the other ones just are illusions, or... Yeah, that's what it looks like. I've actually, every time I've done this quest, I've usually just ended up fighting all of them, so I just assumed you had to kill them all, but no, it looks like there is actually one real one. Very cool. Oh my gosh, and I got an item. Search, Spot, Reflex, Improved Deception, and Eversight, which gives true seeing and immunity to blindness. If only I was some type of rogue-like character. To be a rogue. But sadly, I am not a rogue. Not me. No rogue here.
A decrepit house stands atop the cliffs. A stiff wind blows in off the windows, carrying the briny stink of churning salt water.
But yeah, as far as like the release of the augments and things and what you should buy, some of the ones that have fortification augment can also be kind of nice depending on what your stats are on your character. So again, keep that in mind. Fortification can be also a very good option.
Tell the deputy to send the expected signal.
Again, you have like a lot of flexibility augment to augment about which one is going to work best for you. Examine missing stats in your character or things that you might find difficult to get into your gear. For the also in general, I don't recommend augmenting leveling gear because you don't really need it for the most part. And if you aren't sure, like basically the best way I can describe it is if you don't know why you're augmenting a piece of gear, you probably shouldn't be augmenting it. Like you should be able to make a pretty easy and convincing argument to yourself that like this thing that you have deserves to be augmented. And if you can't, then you probably should, or the augment's probably better spent somewhere else. Okay, so now I'm just trying to find the deck wizard that has the high amount of hit points. Oh no, it's not this one. Oh, the hit point value doesn't actually display. Cool, I didn't know that. Come back, real wizard. Color spray. Oh, jeez. You know, they cast color spray in here. That's kind of cool. Hey, what's up, Jusha Pusha? How are you doing? Who are you? So it looks like my hireling is stuck and unable to get up here, which is kind of funny. There are a lot of quests where, just due to the geography of the areas, your hirelings actually don't really function that well. This was an example. What else is there? There's also... Oh, not Snare. There's this one, and then there's also Memoirs of Losing Larstener and quite a few other ones. Maybar on hardcore? No, they didn't. You can fully do Maybar if you want. I have no idea why, but yeah. I don't think you can do the actual quests, but the champions are still here. Although, admittedly, I don't know. I haven't been to House J in a long time. Not for a while with this character. Binding chain. Okay, so in this quest, what you're trying to do is find the shipping documents and fork the shipping documents, the smuggler's documents, and 4 crests. So it's not too bad. Pretty much just run around, go into every room, and look for all the crests that are supposed to be strewn about. Which makes it pretty easy to find what you're looking for. So I'm just going in each room and picking up stuff. Ooh, nothing. Cool. So which means all of the crests are going to be downstairs. So I don't have to worry about trying to find them up here. I need 4 of them. I have 0. Very fun. There's also a way you can sneak in where you can jump off of this and climb into the porthole if you want. Because that's like one of the ways the boats will actually take you into the quest. Also, be careful when doing this quest on hardcore, because these monsters will attack you while you are loading, which is interesting design, but they will attack you while you're loading. So just be careful about that one. On Hardcore League, I don't think I've seen anyone die to that. I haven't died to that, but some people can die to that, so just keep that in mind. As you notice, I was down like 100 hit points when I loaded into this area because the monster started punching me in the face. Alright, found 1 crest so far, and now we're down into the galley looking for the other 3. So, they can spawn up here in these little baskets. So I'm looking through the baskets, and there's one here. Crest of the Trident. The other baskets, there's none here. Next. I'm going to come in here to kill the bosun. He's sleeping here. He is invisible. Somehow he's stealth sleeping. Once the bosun is dead, that'll be the last of the actual ship's crew, and since he's dead, all of the crew will actually surrender when you attack them, which makes it a little bit easier. Also, there's grease here for some reason. Did somebody just, like, lose their lunch on the ground? Very weird. And that is all the crests. Perfect. I have 4 now. I'm gonna sneak my way out of here. Alright, Andil is a beast. I'm glad to be right. That's it. That's this whole adventure. Not too bad. I don't love it on the higher difficulties, so when you do this one on, like, re-promoted, it's kind of annoying. Also, look how cool the detail in the shield is. Dang. Morning Lord shield, man. It's very cool.
You must warn the town.
Sorry, I appear to be reacting to something, so I'm going to be like this for a little bit. Apologies. Okay, jump out of the water, and then jump out before I finish mounting up to mount the horse. There we go. I don't know why that works. Because you can do that, they should probably just let you mount the horse in water, but it is what it is. And then there's a rare here. I'm going to be checking the rares as I go to see if I can pick up any additional experience along the way. Greater Shout sucks, because it has no save on it. But I'm going to be killing the rares along the way. There's 2 reasons to kill the rares as you go. One reason is because it's bonus XP and bonus loot. Because you can find some cool named items. Specifically, there's a tower shield out here that's not too bad for damage. And second, Saltmarsh can drop an item called the... what is it? The Nebula Fragment, which allows you to make special upgraded named items, special artifacts. There's some of them are extremely good for very specific builds. So if you want to get one of those special artifacts, you need to farm out a Nebula Fragment. Nebula Fragment is also the rarest item in Dungeons & Dragons Online, having the lowest drop rate out of any item in the game. You can drop from any chest in Saltmarsh, but again, it's the lowest drop rate. So don't expect to get one ever. I have pulled one.
The collapse here seems to have destroyed the mechanism built.
I spent it on a perfected Jitstetka, which is pretty much best in slot for monk. So pretty good. Oh yeah, Hireling's always looking good. Character's not looking too bad. I don't have that much of a clown costume going on here. Hello. Also, I really love the fact that this ability, Legendary Rally, lets you bypass crowd control, so you can just like break yourself out of any crowd control effects in the game that you want. The downside of this spell is even though it does that, it's almost inevitable that when you press it, you will immediately get crowd controlled, so you can't actually bypass anything. How many years of playing? Saltmarsh came out in 2020, I think. No, 2021? Saltmarsh came out in 2021. 22? 2020?
A second flash of
When did Saltmarsh come out? 2021, August 8th? Yeah. No, 20... Oh, right, because it's 2023 now. Right, that makes sense. I'm like, no, that doesn't make any sense. It does make sense. It's the current year is 2023. Right. For Artificer, Heavy Armor, Man Body, or Composite and Evasion through Shadow Dancer, Composite and Evasion is okay depending on your build. I would say it depends. I almost always just go Heavy Armor because the physical resistance rating tends to be better, and you can get a lot of max dex bonus out of Artificer anyway. And Composite means you're giving up on probably close to 60 or 70 physical resistance rating, so you have to make the Evasion really worth it. Important note, what I'm doing here, where I'm just running around in this big circle. This quest is great, by the way. If you haven't done it, I recommend taking the time to do it. This adventure, very cool. But I'm kind of just running around in a big circle here to get back to the start. If you have Dimension Door, once you pull the lever in P, you can Dimension Door back and just run right to the end of the quest, because the beginning is right through that doorway over there. You don't actually have to, like, run around the whole thing. We'll kill Magus Winfrid. Get him out of here. Hello, Nightmare. Nightmare. So, this monster can be quite scary. It's going to drop these fire spheres that explode. Important note that it also has a problem where sometimes the fire circles are invisible. They do a lot of damage when they explode. You basically just don't want to be in them when they explode. It generally drops one after it charges. The trick to making sure that it doesn't drop any of them is just to keep it in one place. The less it moves around, the less it's actually going to drop the little fire sphere or fire circles on the floor that you need to dodge and keep out of. Just don't let it move around and you should be okay. Alright. Also this, if you want a Gold Curse Dagger, this is where it comes from. I've talked about the Gold Curse Dagger before. It's this treasure chest. And the Legendary Gold Curse Dagger is one of the best weapons in the entirety of Dungeons & Dragons Online. Oh, I'm a rogue.
Peepo hey.
Yo, what's up, Ipsum? Welcome back to the stream team. Appreciate this for having a fantastic day. Damn, dude. Tier 3 sub? Damn. 23 month? Damn. That's a long time. And not a short time. Because the times are different. Short time and long time are very, very different. So, thank you for the support. I appreciate it. I hope you've enjoyed your time here. Because if you didn't enjoy your time here and you spent that much time, honestly, that wouldn't surprise me with that level of your general level of behavior. So thank you for tuning in. I appreciate it. Hope you're doing well, man.
But once inside, you see signs of habitation. In fact, you can hear a muffled shout.
Tom probably get the best weapon in the game yesterday. Oh, did he help you get a Gold Curse Dagger yesterday out of that chest? Is that the best weapon in the game? Okay, cool. It is basically one of the best weapons in the game. I don't even disagree with that. I just didn't know. That's a joke? Oh, no, absolutely. It's just, it's really funny because every time we'll talk about something, somebody will reference a video game. I know you've already played it, even if whether it's good or bad, you've already played it.
Taken down through the basement and into a cavern.
You're the type of person who says, you know what? I will have this experience. I like that.
The door creaks open down on
Sometimes
the
you gotta have
floor.
experiences.
Dank air wafts up from the lower
Also,
levels.
somebody has to play all these video games.
A musty smell
If I'm just gonna sit here, you know, just sitting around playing Dungeons and Dragons Online all day. Hey, what's up, Cruiser? How are you? How's your day? I don't have a lot of commentary about these quests because they're pretty straightforward. There's a couple tricks I'll show off in a few of these, but for the most part, it should be fairly simple. Also, I like that Aretha just decides to aggro on these monsters through this wall. Very good. You're doing real good? Are you finally not feeling sick anymore? I don't know if you can hear it in my voice, but I'm having a pretty bad allergic reaction today to something. I don't know what it is. So yeah. Just a very cool customs run to do some early quests done. I don't know what that means, but I hope that's good. I hope that means you're having a good time. Yeah, I don't know what a cool customs run is, but yeah. Customs is a map in Tarkov. Oh, I got it. Video games. Okay, gotcha. I got you now. Video games. See, whenever somebody jumps into chat and it says like they did something, I should always just assume it's video games for the most part. I mean, that's what we do here. We play and talk about video games. Yeah, I was up a little bit late last night. Put up a new video this morning. Also went to edit it. I was editing some videos last night. When I came to my computer in this morning, for some reason, my video wasn't actually editing. I don't know why. Like, it was, but it had spent 6 hours editing, and it had gone through, like, a few thousand frames. And I was like, well, that's annoying. I don't want it to do that. So I have to investigate what the problem is and then go from there. I'm gonna be doing that tonight, so hopefully I have some new stuff for later.
The Brotherhood interrogated her in a nearby building. She fears that they're trying
to bring to a guy called the Skier. Oh, so you took somebody's documents to customs. That makes sense. Good old customs agents. Show passport, get stamp, go home.
Through the cavern.
The screen freeze ever since you downgraded the driver? I haven't. I have not gotten the screen freeze again. Who knows? Maybe it'll come back. Maybe this is the time when the screen freeze will return. Back to skiing. Wouldn't we all like to do that? You know, head out to the Alps, or you know, head out to Whistler, have a nice vacation. Honestly, that does sound pretty good. I could go with a Whistler ski trip. Let's do that. Everybody, everybody in chat. We'll book a trip. We'll go to Whistler, do some skiing. Sounds good. All right, pro tip about this quest. There's a boss in this room. If you kill the boss outside of the room, the quest doesn't finish. So you have to make sure you kill the boss in the room. I've had that problem before. Yeah, this boss has to be in here when it dies, or else you don't get credit. So just keep that in mind. And the boss can aggro you through the walls if you have an aura. So if you're playing like a Favored Soul or a Warlock with a aura or a Barbarian or any class that has like a passive aura that can affect stuff, it can pull through the wall and come get you. And so you just got to be careful about that. This other guy, you don't have to kill him in the room. You can just kill him. Although he is an orange name for whatever reason, even though he is kind of the final boss. So he just kind of dies. And then I have the mysterious voice, who I'm not going to do what it tells me. And boom! I get nothing. I'm going to go take level 31 before I continue on this charade of extra quests.
The creature in the casket asks you to free him, but you decide that there must have been a
Which
good
nice.
reason for the thing to be bound.
Because I don't need to do every quest at level 30, I might as well take 31, especially considering 31 is a huge increase in power for my character. it's a brand new feat, actually. So I'm just going to teleport to Saltmarsh because it's faster than recalling. And then go out to the next quest from here. So now that I'm here, I'm going to level up at the Fate Spinner. Hello, Fate Spinner Epic Trainer. And I will be taking a feat that was added with Isle of Dread for level 31. And it is Shield Mastery Specialty. Basically what this does is if I have one greater weapon specialty, this gives me another one. Because my character is a two-handed fighter user, because as I said before, I have the Bastard Sword. Bastard Sword is kind of two-handed fighting even when you have a shield in hand. I didn't take any of the shield mastery feats. By taking this, I get 15 physical resistance rating while holding a shield, 9 melee power, and 10% double strike. One feat for 10% double strike and 15 physical resistance rating is pretty good. So then I press this button, and then boom, I get the shield mastery specialty, which didn't increase my physical resistance rating. And I think I have to unequip and re-equip. Nope, it just didn't give it to me. Well, now we know. Does it give the melee power? It shouldn't give the melee power because I get more melee power from using the two-hander. No, it doesn't. Yeah, that makes sense because two-handed fighting gives me more melee power anyway. Huh. Shield Mastery Specialty does not grant PRR for using a shield. Fun. Oh no, Murder Sobo slain by a Dread Pirate Quartermaster. Oh no, a level 32 just died again. Oh my goodness. Okay, well, how about this? In the future, there will be a time where this feat will probably give you the extra physical resistance rating, at which point it'll be even better. I'm still okay with it giving 10 double strike, because 10% double strike is a lot more damage, but it would be nice if it actually gave the full bonus listed. That would be nice. Oh well. It is what it is.
Hey Strim, Brian here. I just looked at the Whistler on the Google Maps on its all grass, dirt and trees. How am I supposed to go skiing there with no snow?
You're supposed to go skiing there. That's how you're supposed to do it. So when you get there, just go skiing. Yeah, that's how I would do it myself. Okay, so up here on this hill is a rare that always spawns. If you want to farm this 8 times a week to see if you can get yourself a one of the Nebula Fragments, you can, because Nebula Fragment can drop out of any chest, including optionals that just don't give anything else. So, how do I get this? I have to solve this puzzle. The solution is always... Whoopsie, I jerked the camera around for some reason. But it's always 4, 3, 2, 1, 2. So if you're looking at it like 1, 2, 3, 4, it's always this one, then this one, then this one, then this one, this one. Okay, I'm feeling off today, so I apologize if the camera might look a little jerky and other things. Focus is also really weird. Oh well. Alright. Oh, did I not do yesterday's prediction? Nope. Alright, well I guess I'll do it now. Because I forgot to do yesterday's silver roll. Because as I said, I really don't think about these things. I completely forget that they even exist in the game. Which is why I'm not upset that the gold roll is no longer daily. Because I don't care about it at all. So here's a chance to get your prize from yesterday. 3, 2, 1, go. Wow, amazing. It's 30. Whoa, dude.
To pass the night over the years.
Alright, campsite. Camp quest.
You awake from
Yeah, I just always forget about that.
filled with shouts and screams.
I said, we're going to talk about the
Then you realize
whole gold roll thing later.
panicked calls for help can be heard a short distance to the south.
Because,
Take off
you
your
know,
slumber
it's a
and
big
make
topic
your way
of
to
discussion.
the
But for me,
One
right
smuggler
now,
stands.
I don't really care too much to talk, or I don't really talk about it, or care enough to talk about it now. Question: if you were playing a level 29 fighter sword and board, what would be in my hands? Currently, but I'm level 31, so I would use the Morning Lord's Bastard Sword because it's free and really powerful.
The exhausted smuggler beckons you over to talk. The smuggler explains that
I don't know what
the
character
has
you're
several
playing
other
because
shrines
maybe you're
nearby.
playing repeating crossbow
The
fighter.
closest one is just
And
to
the shield,
southwest.
if you're a vanguard who attacks stuff with a shield, I would probably use the Ferro Crystal Shield from Combating Corruption because it's the best offensive shield in the game. So that one's pretty good. Another option is this shield, the legendary shield of the Scorpion.
How does
It just gives really useful stats that are incredibly good.
In half? The nerve.
I know, isn't that disappointing? Oh well, it is what it is. Yeah, the Ferrocrystal shield is the best offensive shield for fighters if you want to use an offensive one. If you want defensive shields, the Giant's Platter is really good. The legendary shield of the Scorpion is also really good. Those are all pretty good shields that don't really have a downside. Also really easy to get. Well, this one's not easy to get. Technically, there's no challenge. It's just time consuming. You will get this eventually because you can buy this from Kembe. And then you can just go farm out the crystals you need to upgrade it to legendary. So it's very easy to get in terms of like, you're guaranteed to get it. There's no RNG. The downside is it just will take you a while to farm. Also, Mikey Geek, welcome back to the stream team. Heavier, or not 1, not 2, but friggin' 23 months. It's a long time. I hope you've enjoyed the stream. I hope you're feeling good today. Better than me. I don't know what happened. I was feeling pretty good earlier, and then all of a sudden I just hit like a ton of bricks when I turned on the live stream. Wow. Oh yeah, Shield of Scorpion is a fantastic item. And like I said, because it's a deterministic drop, it's very easy to get if not time consuming. It took me about 2 hours to farm one out. But I got it. Maybe it was longer than that. I honestly don't know.
Does the Strimtom team have a coach, and are we getting into the finals anytime soon?
So we're, you know, we're not going to nationals anytime soon. We need to practice. Because when we went to the regional championship, we came in last place and also got disqualified for fighting all of the refs. Because every member of the stream team at a different time engaged in some type of physical conduct with the refs of an offensive nature. So, and we were in last. So, yeah. Unfortunately, the stream team is lagging behind a little bit. That's okay. We get that back. See, and this is exactly what I'm talking about. The refs had it coming. I'm glad we're all on the same page here. They gave us last year. It's okay. They did a lot. Yeah. When it comes to the because of the amount of content we get a lot of content in DDO considering the size of the team. So I'm pretty happy about that. A lot of games would give out less or smaller amounts of content. Do I think that everything that SSG does is perfect? No. That's why I made a YouTube video talking about how disappointed I was in SSG with their desire to rush releases, as opposed to doing the proper checking and proofreading that they probably should do before they release content.
At the same time,
I don't mind, you know, if there's bugs in the game. I mean, I prefer there were no bugs, but whatever. Sometimes there's a bug in the game. It's no big deal. But the kind of bug really matters. And having, like, bugs that are glaringly obvious upon first use that should be super noticeable. Stuff like that was, like, not cool. And having the game have to come down multiple times because of the bank. Ugh. I said, the new bank is way better than the old bank. Don't get me wrong. I just wish it didn't bring the game down so many times. Also, goodbye Legstone, died to a Famine Reaper.
Now, to destroy
RIP! Anyway, we'll have to see what they're going to do for the gold rolls. I'm hoping it'll be something cool, but again, so wait and see. You've been leveling without voice? Yeah, I don't have a voice the master. I didn't get it. I didn't feel like it was important because I'd have to swap the voice around all the time, when instead I just have this epic dust cart, which is really, really powerful for this character, so I've just been using that instead. Which, I could make a legendary dust cart, which is also a really powerful item. That it exists. I'm pretty sure I talked about it during the leveling process. I'm pretty sure in the last 25 hours or so that I've been playing this character, I have talked about it.
powerful Sahuagin.
Yeah.
Clearly
It's also not, like, required by any stretch of the imagination. I gotta say, Action Hero feels great. One of the things I like about Action Hero is when your character has really low stats, like mine, Action Hero grants everything. Attack boost, melee range power, attack speed, double strike, double shot, movement speed, armor class, dodge, attack DCs, saving throws, skills. So for this character, it gives me melee power and double strike, which stacks onto everything, so it's a huge DPS boost when I have it active. Problem is I forget to use it all the time. What are you gonna do? The anniversary to announce new VIP stuff, that's too long. Yeah, probably, but that's probably what it's gonna be. I'm reading the forum if that exists in the topic. I don't know. I mean, when you say stuff is hard to see, what does that mean? Describe hard to see. Is it the colors? Is it dark? Do you think, are there things that get in the way? You can mess with the gamma settings. So under graphics, right here, you have the gamma level. And by adjusting your gamma level, it'll make things brighter. Granted, I can't do that, and I don't know why. Hey, there's a manticore here. Hey, a Relu. Get out of here. Hey, I got the Gloves of the Tinker. A really great trapping item for leveling. Just really, or like for endgame. It's got open and lock, disable device. Dang it, did I get both the searching items? Yeah, I did. Search, spot, open lock, disable device, physical sheltering, UMD, rune arm focus, Eversight. Just hilarious. Can I use any of these stats? My gloves currently give me nothing. This will give me UMD 5. I just don't need the UMD. If only. If only. Use windowed, not full screen. Ah, there you go.
Stinks of death, magic, and wine in that order.
All right, so here, what you want to do? I guess you can. There's brightness as well, right? Yeah. You just blow up the brightness. I can't adjust any of this. Oh my god! There you go. That's the problem. You can actually do this backwards.
There are definitely some unpleasant things.
I don't know if you're supposed to do this backwards, but you can. You just walk up and do the puzzle reverse. Why I can't reach all of these. Apparently I can't do this backwards. Never mind. Because I'm clicking something wrong. Some of these are blocked. How do I... Wait, how do I do this? No. Oh, I have to jump with it. I see. No, it doesn't work. Yeah, I'm just showing off this is a thing you can do. I'm not saying you should do this. It's just a thing I know you can do. Alright, I'm not doing that. I'm too lazy. I've seen people do it before. Yeah, you can do it. You do it in reverse. I'm just gonna fight all the monsters. I don't really care.
Hisses the Sahuagin. They meddle with the pattern. Hold them, my warriors.
Where do we go here? Oh wait, I'm busy solving this puzzle. Please get out of the way. Thank you. Get your carcass out of the way. Okay, so this goes here, and this goes here. Better if you don't stand too close to the tiles. Yeah, I can see that. All right, dinosaur, or whatever this is called. Alligator, lizard, reptile. I like that he automatically goes for the hireling instead of for me. So I could have just like left Thousand Teeth and let the hireling take care of it. Probably would have been the nicest thing to do for the hireling, but you know, hey. Them's the breaks, kid. Sometimes the person who hired you lets you get eaten by an alligator and they don't do anything about it.
Stay and fight. Raps the Sahuagin mage, straining to control the crocodile.
Okay. Also, the water's full of piranhas here, so you just don't want to touch the water if you can avoid it. And without disabling all music? I don't think so. Yes, I'll be using the fire barrels. Would you rather use Blast Rod or Lightning Bolt? You basically want both of them. Because Lightning Bolt has better single target damage because it can hit twice. Whereas Blast Rod is better AoE. So that's pretty much how you would make the determination. You want both of them, but you just use them at different times for different purposes. They have different use cases. But generally, Blast Rod is going to be better because Blast Rod just has a better AoE. It's just a gigantic cone that blows everybody up.
The Sahuagin's barrier vanishes. The mage is now
Alright, so now the mage is, revealed, so I can start fighting the mage, so I can beat up Mage Krill. So I'm currently doing that. Eventually, Thousand Teeth is going to pop out of the water. However, that's okay, because I'm not worried about Thousand Teeth. Come over here, you giant alligator. See this red barrel? When I hit it, boom, Thousand Teeth gets stunned, which causes him to actually take helpless damage, which is convenient, and not be able to do anything. They get free reign to beat him up. Then when the stun is over, I can just pull him over to another barrel. It's almost like I'm playing, I don't know, like Donkey Kong or something in its K rule. Except when that happens, because the Sahagin target the barrels, apparently. What jerks!
shudders, then collapses into
Anyway, you can do that if you didn't know.
dead.
Massive tracks in the mud lead to a dark
Alright,
and
let's check some
stinky
more items along the way. We have a bullywug right here, so I'm gonna go kill this guy. Hey, Mugwug, the bullywug. Did grab myself some items. Lots of salt meadow hay. The nice thing about the salt meadow hay is that it means you can upgrade stuff really easily. If you ever want normal or epic items at a Saltmarsh, they're really easy to come by.
dirt.
The next rare can spawn over here by this little house here. So you just want to run over to the house and see if you find rares. There's a chest, that means there's a rare. I fight the troll. So goodbye, Mazgak Stormright. Give me another item. And then the last rare along the way over here is going to be a crate. You're just looking for a crate along the water. There's the crate. The crate means it's a rare, because inside the crate is the rare. Boom. It's a water weird. Whoa.
More like Mazgak Storm Roll.
Oh, got him. Again, killing all the rares gives you Salt Meadow Hay, it gives you Filigrees, it gives you XP, and it can give you the precious Nebula Fragment.
A large hole.
Very, very rare item. It's also pretty much always worth it to do optionals in these quests when given the opportunity. So, if you're unsure about what you should be doing when you do these,
falling into a large and deep cavern.
feel free to just jump around and kill extra optionals, kill a couple monsters along the way. I will be killing several optional monsters in here in some of these quests, just because they're easy along the way, and every single extra chest you loot gives you more chances for a Nebula Fragment.
Forks leading north and south.
Okay, so inside this quest, down you go, there are several little puzzle tiles. Now, you're supposed to memorize those tiles. However, I don't feel like it. I'm tired today. So, is there a way for people like me who are tired and they don't really want to look at the screen to be able to get through those puzzles without memorizing those puzzle tiles? Because also, I'm playing a lot of Path of Exile. My fingers are tired. I also don't want to Google stuff because that involves typing on the keyboard. Don't want to type on no keyboard. Just want to, let the game go as it is. And fortunately for me, there is an answer for the lazy. And I'll show you how to do it. So you just click in both the runes here. The runes are going to open the door up ahead. Yo, what's up, Dorn? How are you? Yeah, I don't want to do any typing on the keyboard. You know the keyboard? The old keyboard? Also, in this quest, croakers are the most dangerous monsters. Kill the croakers or you're going to die. What they do is they cast a... Apparently, I can't kill them. But croakers cast a damage over time spell that's very dangerous. One of the things. The shamans are also kind of dangerous, but it's the croakers that are the most dangerous. Stop hopping. Damn bullywugs. these hops. Alright, anyways. We're going to sneak our way, snake back down to the beginning. If you have Dimension Door, of course, you can just Dimension Door back to the beginning, because that's where the door is that you need to leave through. You'll notice that in many quests, I'm going to say, if you have Dimension Door, you can do this. Dimension Door really, really improves your quest time, and will make you go significantly faster through most adventures. So, because just on recall time alone, where you can recall through the quest, and also the number of times you have to backtrack to the beginning, is a very common thing to experience in DDO. Alright. So this is the room where I needed to have the puzzle memorized because of all these tiles. I said, I don't want to remember that. So instead, just turn them until they ding.
Get there, you'll need to make your way up and over this forge to power raid columns.
Hey, that one's done. That one's done.
Symbol. One of the geysers spouting from the pillars.
And we're done. That's it. Now for this one, you have to jump across this. If you have feather falling, it's going to be easier. You can also make it easier on yourself, as when you get to certain points along here, pull these levers. The levers will drop a ladder down, so if you slip and fall, you can easily pick yourself back up and not have to worry about that. You can just like be like, oh, you know what, I slipped and fell, but it's not a big deal because you can just like jump back onto this ledge area here. Also, once you're done, you can pull this lever. This lever will also allow you to help other allies who aren't there. Also, if you really, really can't climb up this and you hate doing all this climbing stuff, you can just swim underwater, and there is an optional that will allow you to turn off the waterfall and climb up regardless, so you never have to do the jumping section. I just like jumping in this video game, so I just always do the jump. But those are your options in case you really hate it. Solo Crucible from Gianthold? Well, I mean, so Crucible is one of the quests where Dimension Door is actually not helpful. But you can solo it if you have Dimension Door. That is technically true, because if you have Dimension Door, you can solo it just like how you can solo it without Dimension Door. Where's this guy going? Oh my god, like, I'm just gonna kill the ads. Like, I can't even fight this boss because he's never next to me to fight. What a guy, he's just squirming all over the place. What's happening? Easier for the puzzle part? Puzzle part? I'm so confused.
A ladder leads up to the surface.
I'm not really sure. I know what you're talking about.
You've escaped at last.
Oh, the maze? The problem is, if with a maze, you can put yourself in situations, if you use Dimension Door, where you can get stuck, where there's nothing you can do. Yeah, it's a hireling is good for it. Everything else is not as good. Maybe if there's a route that takes you through faster with Dimension Door. I personally don't know it. I don't know how Dimension Door is helpful. So it's possible there is a route that I just don't know. Get him out of here. Sea lion. As I say, you're gonna notice I'm checking out all the rares along the way, because I just want to make sure I'm picking up everything I can. Actually, here's a great opportunity. We talked about the Nebula Fragment. Well, the Nebula Fragment, once you get it, it's also a quest. So it's not just you get the fragment and then you get an item. You have to go on this grand quest all across the world to unlock this thing. I have a whole video on my YouTube channel if you're curious about that, so how to unlock your Nebula Fragment, or what to do when you get a Nebula Fragment, but I'll just show you right here. This is the final quest, the final enemy in Saltmarsh, but if you ride all the way around back here, just amongst the rocks, you have this Star Shrine. This Star Shrine is used in the Nebula Fragment quest, and it's one of 7 Star Shrines? Or is it 8 Star Shrines? You need to click.
The fast route I have for the Crucible is to let someone else do it while I bum around on my phone.
Also a good option, yeah.
They're using it as their base of operations for their invasion of the coast.
Alright, so for this guy, I usually tell him to distract some Sahagin patrols, just because if you're doing it on the higher difficulty, getting rid of some of the patrols in the lower section is really nice. Now this quest can seem like it's really big and long because it's this gigantic structure with 2 layers, and admittedly if you do all the optionals, it's kind of long. But if you don't do all the optionals, it's actually pretty quick. So, first step, come over here to the left. This is the fast way to get through. You always want to come left out of the room. So, right side on the map, but left once you come in. Just going to come down this hallway. Then you're basically running down this hallway until you get downstairs. You don't have to fight the Watcher constructs. You can kind of just run past them and ignore them. For the most part, the only time you want to kill them is maybe if you're doing R10, if they're facing some way and you're worried about somebody getting hit. You don't care too much about that. Pass around members only again? No, I can't. I've actually been banned from members only because I got into a fight with the host.
Show that the Sahuagin are converting this old lizard folk fortress into their own.
Anyway, jump over here. Guy makes all his saves against my attacks. So I didn't stop him from closing the door, but it's okay. He didn't even try to do anything. He just walked over there. And then once you're here, you're going to pop down this lever right here. And then boom, we're already headed downstairs. The entire first floor has been cleared. We're now on the we're now going down to the second floor after I kill all the monsters in this room anyway. Perfect. Once the Sawhagen are dead, pop this and go downstairs. So that's 1/3 of the quest is already done. So fast. Next I need to do 3 puzzles, or 3 door solves. 1 is on the right, 2 are on the left. So I'm just gonna come over here and get the one on the right. Sometimes you'll have different like monsters spawned around here depending on the pathing. There's several pathing guards in this quest. So sometimes you'll get lucky where the path will not be here and you don't have to fight them. So like there's a guard pack that's somewhere down there. I just don't know where it is. But this is a puzzle. As I said, if you don't know how to do puzzles, work in reverse, because puzzles in reverse are a lot easier because they really only have like one solution where you can go. Whereas when you go forward, they're designed with tricks to kind of trip you up and confuse you. Also, generally, if you're doing a tile puzzle, it's whatever is the longest way is the correct way. You'll notice I went all the way down here and then all the way, like all the way over here and all the way over here. That's because if you can try to do other ways and it doesn't work. But the game looks like you can make shortcuts that don't function. Hey man, I'm teaching some tricks. That's what it's all about. That's 1 on this side and then 2 on this side. You can also tell there's 1 on this side and 2 on this side because of the placement of these jewels, which makes it a little bit easier to understand where exactly you're supposed to go. And now it's just 2 fights. Fight in here, fight in the other room. This fight, not a big deal, just some monsters. Next fight has a boss inside of it, a little mini boss, a sea lion that can be very dangerous on the higher difficulties. So just keep in mind that it can be a little dangerous if you're not prepared for it. Because sea cats don't mess around. They get you, they bite. They got a really mean bite. So I just missed the patrol over there. Nice. Come in here. There's the sea cat. Get him with the auto crit. And he's dead. Alright, so now I'm almost done this floor. This quest is actually going super fast. Important note that obviously if I was playing on elite difficulty, this would be taking a lot longer. You might be wondering, since I'm clearing the monsters so quickly on hard, why would I be playing on hard instead of elite? Because on elite difficulty, the monsters do 4 times the amount of damage, and they have 4 times the amount of health. So it would take way longer for me to get through this. Plus, also, I don't have the hit chance either, so my critical strikes are less consistent. So for my own sanity's sake, I'm just doing this on hard. At this juncture, there are monsters here. There's a patrol. So if they aggro, you have to fight them. They didn't aggro, so I'm good. That one's pretty good. Here, there's another one of these Watcher constructs. Again, I don't have to fight this, but I'm going to because I feel like it. Get out of here. Take this. Take that. Take this. I don't want to fight this one, though. He can live. The Arethius Sundawn wants to fight it, though. And then you have to come over here. Because this is what we're looking for. The underwater breathing device. You also have to kill the High Priestess who is in here. Or the Baroness. Is it the Baroness or the High Priestess? We have to kill the person that's in this room. Can't remember which one it is. One of the 2. Oh, I accidentally put on my big cooldown before the final fight. Well, that's cool. I'll just use it for this boss fight then.
The underwater breathing device pulses with magic power. You and your companions can now explore.
Die, Baroness. Zelikaz. Have all of my action boost damage up on you. Die. Well, because I get increased movement speed, I'm just going to use that to get back to the edge over here. Also, I got 1,000 sentient XP. Ooh, that's fun. Love that. Anyway, now we go downstairs. So the second third of the dungeon is now over. So we did the first part, and now the second part. Now we're going downstairs. Quest is almost done. So quickly. So quickly. Again, these ones are not too bad once you get used to them and you learn them, but trying to go through Saltmarsh for the first time and not really knowing your way around can take quite a little while. This is where you're going to be offered the... I don't know if it's the first shrine, but the first shrine on the path that I'm taking that you'll encounter. Usually by this point, you shouldn't be out of spell points, especially if you're in a group. If you're by yourself, you might have needed a shrine earlier, at which point you'd have to stop for a shrine somewhere along the way. But it's usually not too bad. I think there's a shrine in one of the puzzle rooms, actually. That I did. I just don't remember. I wasn't paying attention. Anyway, usually this area is laden with patrols, but because I told the character at the beginning not to, or to distract the patrols, there are fewer of them here. So I like that the hireling just walks on water, or walks on the ground. They don't even have like a little bubble around them. They just walk around like, this is fine and everything is regular. They don't have the aquasphere effect. Alright, then it's final boss room. Come in, kill the boss. Pretty standard stuff. Also, for a reason I don't understand, the monsters will oftentimes try to swim towards the ceiling. The High Priestess is likely going to do it as well. For some reason, when the monsters try to reposition, there's like a weird bug in this room that can make them just straight up go up. Just straight up into the ceiling. I don't even know exactly what causes it, but I've seen it happen on more than one occasion. As a melee, it can be very frustrating to deal with, so you just kind of like ignore him. Yeah, there's one like just above me. He went all the way up to the ceiling and then he came back down for some reason. And he's dead. Grab the codex page and then pray for the helmet that lets you cast Death Ward 3 times a day. I didn't get it. But I did get Deceiving Goggles of Necromancy.
Will be unable to invade Saltmarsh and the surrounding coastal areas.
Have you heard of dive bomb attack? Yeah, usually when you dive bomb somebody, you want to do that with the air because the air, or in air, there's a higher effect of gravity, so you would do more damage to someone. Whereas doing it underwater wouldn't really work as well because gravity has a harder time pushing you through all of the liquid straight down. I mean, maybe if you're a bowling ball, but most creatures have a lot of buoyancy naturally built into them because of just oxygen that they store within their body. You dive in water? Yeah, but we were entirely underwater.
This ship seems to have sunk very recently.
It was just underwater. There was nothing else.
Intact. The crates the sailor mentioned aren't anywhere on this deck.
All right. So now what we want to do is head underwater here. Now this quest is fun. So there's a couple tricks, also a couple bosses. There's also that time where I was in here and trap exploded. And I was playing rogue and I didn't disable the trap, but people thought I disabled the trap. So I said, guys, I didn't disable it. That was the other rogue who did it. Let me show you. Then I went to disable the next trap and it exploded in my face. It's one of the best clips on my channel. I don't know where it is. Tony might have it, but it is one of the best clips. It's definitely a top clip of all time.
The underwater cave.
I should just make like a good compilation video. Take some of the best clips of the whole year, throw them together. Actually, really easy to do. I should do that. Actually, since I'm going on vacation soon, that would be very easy to do. It's just me scanning through a couple clips, and I can even just pull the clips during the live stream here, so it'll be fun. Gonna do a year in review video again? I don't know. That's a good question. I should ask him about it. Oh, I've just been busy doing stuff and things. And by busy doing stuff and things, I mean staying up late at night, video editing, and staying up late at night video editing because I have to stay up late at night video editing because I spend too much time shirking my responsibilities and playing Path of Exile to do anything else. Whoopsie. Again, you're going to notice I'm doing the puzzle backwards. That's because there's these red tiles. These red tiles explode if you hit them. So you don't want to hit them. So they like do a bunch of lightning damage. You want your character to live? Do puzzles backwards.
Gears
like so.
Action, and the ground shakes as a massive door grinds open nearby.
Now, there's a bunch of cold traps in here. They can be quite dangerous. I don't care. I'm just going to run through them because I have a shield and I'm a fighter. And in here is a named creature that's going to give me an extra item. Again, because this is hard mode, I don't really need to care too much about the actual damage the traps do, and I have 2,000 hit points as a fighter, so I'm not too concerned. Grab this, and I'm all set. How much damage does it even do? 30 damage to me? Yeah, I don't care. I think that's the amount of damage I take from a single hit from a monster.
Looking closely,
and as I said, I'm going to be going for all these extra chests because every single chest that you loot is a chance for a nebula fragment, but also gives you extra chances at filigrees, which can be valuable because there are quite a lot of good filigrees out of here. Specifically for fighters, there's a filigree set called the Dreadbringer, based off of the legendary Dreadnought Epic Destiny. The Dreadbringer gives you a lot of melee power, tactics DCs, hit and damage. Oh, it's so good. There's so many good things in Dreadbringer. I think it also gives like defense, like physical magical resistance rating too, which is kind of cool.
One to the west and one to
I'm going to kill this guy. This is just another open the door, fight the monster, get the treasure chest. If you're doing this on the higher difficulties like Reaper 10 and stuff, it can be worth it doing that. Does this explode? No, it doesn't. Although I did get a Divinity Strength rare. Kind of cool. I don't need Smite Evil charges, but Fortification Bypass, Healing Amp, Melee Range Power, eh. But Strength +1 and 2 Magic Resistance rating is not bad.
Bring the pain, Strimtom. Keep the people of Stormreach safe from the hordes of evil.
Oh, yeah. That would be a good idea. I'm in Saltmarsh for whatever reason, so I'm actually not helping the people of Stormreach, so if anybody does get in trouble in Stormreach, you know, when you call, you'll get my out-of-office email that says, hey, I'm not in Stormreach right now, I'm busy saving the world in another dimension, but if, you know, leave a message, and if you're still alive, I'll try to save you when I get back. Okay, thanks. Also, thank you for the bits, Vagabond. I appreciate it.
You can see a pile of
very kind of you.
Matching the sailor's description on the
Anyways, monsters jump down from the sky, get him with the action hero, and then beat them all up. Okay, you notice that I use Dire Charge on one single target. It's just because this character has a really low hit chance, and so it's really important for me to actually land my my attacks. So I'll be using Dire Charge just for the Sunder effect, the Sunder DC on this. And I got nothing, or at least nothing good. Technically, Wild Hunter attack and damage is pretty good. Wild Hunter is nice. It's 5 range power, and if you have all 5 pieces, you get, or 5 range power for 2, and then all 5 pieces is 1 many shot charge, which increases your burst capability, which is quite nice. Range characters are largely burst oriented anyway, so being able to improve your burst is quite good. Winning star fragments. Maybe I can upgrade an item to legendary if I get enough of them. Oh, and I did get an item. I got the artifact, the 2-headed platinum piece. I could wear this if I wanted. It gives spell absorption and intelligence and good luck 5. It's not a bad artifact. Important notes about artifacts are you can only wear one of them at a time. So you can only wear one artifact at a time. So I don't have an artifact equipped, but I could wear this trinket over top of my dust cart because it would give me spell absorption 50, which means I just literally absorb the first 50 negative spells that are cast on me, which is kind of good. Good luck 5 is a whole bunch of saving throws and skills. And I don't need the intelligence, but it is what it is. Okay. My backpack is full, but I gotta get rid of some stuff. Delete some scrolls. I don't need these. Delete some wands. Holy Smite. Yeah. Nyax. Owls. I don't need the shield wand anymore. I had the shield wand in the event that I somehow was going to run out of my shield charges on my belt, and that has yet to happen. So I don't really need to worry about having that anymore. Oh, there it is. That's the clip. I like that you made the clip too. That's fantastic. I'll just throw it up here because, you know, you did take the time to find it, and also it's a good clip. So let me just grab it real quick.
Optimize the wall.
Hold on. Let me just throw that up here. Am I in the right place? Am I good? Am I visible? Oh, I'm in the middle of the screen. Hold on.
Wall watch? Yeah, no wall watch. Yeah, not all iconic gear. I've been replaced. Oh! Oh! I'm discovering traps, dude! well, let me see if I can get the next one. I didn't blow it up. I did not. I didn't blow it up. I didn't. If I blew it up, it was a critical failure. I didn't blow it up. I failed. I didn't critically fail. I just regular failed. I didn't blow it up. It was the Artie. It was not me. Flip it. 100%. I failed, not critical. Not critical fail. Watch. That was... Okay, so we'll watch.
It's the one. It's the rolling a one with the critical fail is so perfect. I love that clip. It's so good. God, it's just rolling the one and dying is so funny. Oh, did you do the Sporkle quiz? I don't know what you're talking about. You mentioned a Sporkle quiz yesterday, and you asked me if I did it. I said I don't know what that quiz is, because it wasn't linked to me, and then you never responded. And then you're asking me again, so I'm going to give the same answer. I don't know what you're talking about. I've never seen whatever it is you're talking about. Also, what's up, Float? How you doing? I'm checking here because there can be an optional, and there is. Yeah, so the answer is I did not do the Sporkle quiz. I don't know what the Sporkle quiz is. I have done many Sporkle quizzes, but the quiz could be anything, and I haven't done it. Weapon fighting is busted now? I wouldn't say two-weapon fighting is busted. Why is two-weapon fighting busted? Did I miss something? Did I miss a memo?
The Lizard Folk Queen greets you.
I must speak with
Oh,
you outside.
it's in the Discord somewhere. Yeah, let me see if I can find it.
That could destroy us all.
Blindness
The
removal,
Lizard Folk
blindness
Queen
removal.
swears that she means no harm to the nearby
I need
village.
this. I have disease
But she
removal
faces
potions,
a
I
growing
guess. I'm trying to make
rebellion
space.
within her tribe.
Utilize
You
poison. I don't
agreed
even
to
have those in
help
my
her
action
defeat
bar.
High Shaman Kefin, the leader of the rebels.
Usually when people describe things as busted, colloquially, they're describing it as good. I don't know why that is, but in video game terminology, something being busted means it is usually too good and not actually bad.
Officers must be familiar.
Similarly, it's the same thing when people describe things as like, man, this thing is so broken.
Please
It's usually because it's too good and not bad. Yeah, two-weapon fighting is the best single target in the game. It has been for a very long time. There are sometimes builds that don't use mechanics properly that will overtake two-weapon fighting, but outside of that, it has been there for a very long time. Like I said, if you just want to have insane damage, just play two-weapon fighter rogue. If you've never done it before, trust me, you're going to have an experience. It's super strong. The downside is because DDO has become increasingly AoE focused, that doesn't feel as good during the leveling process, and it feels more akin to ranged. That's why rangers feel good to level with as two-weapon fighters, because they just get Dance of Death, so they can hit everything in front of them anyway. How far behind is Single Fighter Rogue? I don't know. Important note when it comes to like comparing top DPS and what have you. Number one, DDO has no way to actually calculate metrics because we have no way to calculate things other than by testing on DPS test kobolds that don't have enough hit points on the preview server. So it's very difficult to actually get an accurate measurement about the exact level of comparison between different builds. It is very difficult to do so. Keep that in mind. Also, problem number two, there are very few situations in DDO where that information is actually useful to you as a, as a consumer. In a lot of cases, that information won't be able to give you any meaningful amount of distinction. Single weapon fighter versus two weapon fighter rogue, which one is better single target DPS? They're both going to be pretty good, and even on R10s, likely not super noticeable unless you're doing like raids where you have longer fights where it might be more noticeable on the larger health bars. So like the information that you'll get is not really something you can act upon, so it's not really as helpful. And third, I'm also absolutely not a meta chaser. I don't go for the top build, so I just don't have that information. I find it not interesting to me. That's why I don't know. So I apologize. If people want like a top 5 DPS tier list about what the best thing is, I'm not the guy to go for that. That's not the type of content that I play. I play characters that can do R10s on quests, because R10s on quests have a lot more flexibility in terms of what you can do, which is probably pretty damning for the difficulty as a whole, and probably one of the reasons why there should maybe be like either a Reaper revamp, or they should add in more levels of difficulty to the game to increase beyond R10, considering R10 is now much more accessible than it used to be. You used to need like specific builds and specific characters doing stuff, and nowadays you can kind of just grab a bunch of people. As long as people know what they're doing, you can kind of run around. Important note, if you have wisdom, you can use this rune. I don't, but my hireling might. And it takes you right back to the queen.
A grateful Queen Othokin says that the lizard folk are willing to ally with Saltmarsh. But first, she asks 2 favors of you.
So yeah, like I said, it's just one of those things where I don't know the answer in terms of what the top are, and I also am not too concerned about the answer. I usually defer to other people when that question comes up. Because like I said, we don't have like, if there was, you know, a website like Warcraft logs or something for DDO where you could keep track of all your data. If we could just at the very least keep track of data, you could parse something, that'd be great. But there's no way to pull that data out of the video game, so it doesn't matter.
You spot the spear crest on the table near a group of rebel officers, but the way is blocked by a
but that would be sweet.
barrier.
The problem is, whenever those programs exist, a lot of people get really up in arms about them, about their existence. Some people don't like the fact that it is possible for you to catch data. So a lot of people really don't like that. For the for the uninitiated, if you are not familiar with the concept of like people parsing their data when they play the game, if you've played a game like World of Warcraft, there's an easy example. These websites will track, you can get add-ons or things in your game that will track all of the performance metrics of your character. How much damage you're doing, how much damage each skill is doing, how often you're using each skill, how often you're actually using the keyboard. You can even track activity, which is like how often you are putting inputs to the game versus like hands off of keyboard watching it happen. And you can keep track of everything, and then these websites can aggregate huge quantities of data and can compare everybody. So they can take, 100,000 people all running a raid on a class and say, okay, this 100,000 people, this is the derivation of it. So if you have 100,000 people, some people do 10 DPS, some people do 20, some people do 30, and you can see where you land in the percentage of your total damage, and you can keep track of everything. The upside of this is it means that it's a lot better for you as a player to improve, because it means that you have something to go against. You have like metrics you can look at, statistics, you can compare your stats to other people's stats. You can find ways to get that information about like, what it is you need to improve or do better. So very, very cool. There's a lot of really cool details and information you can get in some of these things. The downside is that if you decide to, I don't have any of these skills. The downside is that people will use this as a comparative tool. So whether you want it or not, because something like this exists, you can't really put the genie back in the bottle. You're now in a situation where people will be using this as a way to not just compare, but also say, hey, you can't join this quest or do this piece of content unless you have X skill. Or while you're playing, somebody will look at your damage or your whatever, or your defense or your healing, and say, hey, they'll nitpick what you're doing and tell you that you can do things one way or another. Or they will possibly insult you for it or judge you. It is a part of the process. It's not always going to happen. Most people use these tools in constructive ways, but some people will use tools in destructive ways as well. It's the nature of the beast. So, as it turns out, you don't have to be nice to people on the internet, which is why I usually encourage people to be nice to each other on the internet, because it makes the internet a nice place, or a better place. Get out of here. But yeah, I am very much in the camp, and this should be a surprise to no one, I'm very much in the camp of these tools should exist, because I think that they are highly beneficial to pretty much everybody involved. Getting better data means you can have more accurate representations of what's good versus what's bad. For example, for games like World of Warcraft, the website Icy Veins wouldn't exist unless there was a way to categorically parse what is better and what is worse. for your character, and those websites allow you to get into stuff really quickly because you can just go, oh, this is better than this, I'm going to do this, if you don't want to think about it too much if you're playing a new character, and it gives you a better baseline to get started with. Whereas in Dungeons & Dragons Online, think about how many items there are in the game, and there's like, it's really difficult for you to even understand what's going to do better or worse for your character. Do I need one more DC, or should I take an extra plus 5 to hit damage? What's more valuable? I don't know, and you probably also don't either, but we don't have access to those tools, so we don't have access to the data to even check what you need. So that's why there's no like stat priority, as an example, you might see in another video game. So if you play World of Warcraft, your character will have stat priority. So let's say you want to play Assassination Rogue, they'll be like, okay, for Assassination Rogue, your stat priority is like Mastery is most important, then Crit, then Haste, then Versatility. Those are the 4 DPS stats. So it's like that's your stat priority. They have that information because they know how valuable each stat is, because you can play the game with each stat and keep track of how much damage something is doing and have that information. Now, obviously, they don't actually play the game because they have access to enough data. They can actually just simulate information. Also, apparently, I can't fight this for some reason, which is kind of interesting. But still, it's just interesting. So, some people have a lot of different opinions about it. I am definitely very supportive of the idea of using these tools. I think the tools are very helpful, and I think they are generally more beneficial for even like the totality of the community. Even people that think they wouldn't benefit very heavily from them, I think those people can also still benefit from these tools. Even if there might be some people that get harmed along the way, that's more of a community thing than a tool thing, but the tools don't help in that situation. So, you know, I still think it's a good thing, and I would like it if more games had that. But it's also harder in DDO because DDO just doesn't have the same situations like another game does, where you have these long boss fights. Fights are like small, and oftentimes instant kills exist, which really skew the data.
Together with your town. Together, we will send the Sahuagin invaders back into the sea.
And top middle DPS even push raids. Yeah, like you don't, and that's the other thing too, is doing the top DPS, which is what a lot of people want, is also missing some of the bigger picture, because you also need characters that can stay alive, and usually characters that are multifaceted. It's nice when you have the ability to do a quick and instantaneous heal. So Paladin, even though it's not the best DPS, Lay on Hands is pretty friggin' cool and is very useful. Being able to save a raid because you can pick up a healer and prevent them from dying is very, very good. So even though it is not always going to be the top DPS, that's a valuable button you can press on your keyboard. And so there's a lot of situations that are going to be, there's a lot of wishy-washy situations where it's not always clear what the correct answer is. So just keep that in mind. Also, this is Saltmarsh.
WTFF Saltmarsh is set in the Mere of Dead Men. Where is my Dracolich gosh dang it match?
Good question. Where is the Dracolich video game? What is a maker of bad builds? What's the lowest DPS build out there? Probably Fist Cleric. I mean, the lowest DPS build is Fist, Fist, all Constitution, and Fist, all Constitution, all Charisma, Cleric with no weapons and no items equipped at level 1. And then you don't level up. That's probably the lowest damage you can get. But yeah, you have to put no points into the trees as well. The thing about lowest DPS is it's not like another game where the video game gives you stats automatically. In DDO, all you have to do to have a bad build is just not put points in. Right? If I just unspec every point of my character, boom, I have a bad build. Charisma two-handed fighter and a Hork fighter with two-handed fighting? I don't know. Again, as I just recently explained for a little while, those types of questions I don't really answer. So apologies. Somebody else in chat may have an answer for you, but I don't really care. right, I'm going to dump all my filigrees. Important note, your filigrees will go into your crafting storage. The downside is there's no way to sort the crafting storage, so you can't actually find them later. How do you sort the crafting storage to find them later? You have to know the name of the filigree. So I type in Dread, looking for Dreadbringer, and now I have armor class, rare, fortitude saves, and armor class. That really sucks. I don't want that. Another good one would be Fear. I think it's Fury, not E-Fury. Fury. Ultimate Fury, which gives strength. Unfortunately, I only have like 1 attack and damage. Prowess is not bad. I don't have any Prowess filigrees. Very cool. Shattered Device is also pretty good. I have Shattered Device strength, but it's not enough. Other good filigree sets that I could use. Man, I don't really have a lot of good filigree sets. It's unfortunate. If there was a way to search filigrees better, the only way to do it is to type in rare. Rare brings up all your rare filigrees, which is at least convenient in a little bit. It would be cool if there was a filigree. You can also use colon. Colon brings up most of the filigrees because filigrees all have colons in them, but then they're not organized. So it's not like you can have them sorted out. So you can have just only one filigree type. So you still have to go through it. But it does at least bring you... It cuts out a lot of the noise. And there's a lot of different filigrees, as you can see. Fighting Path's not that bad, I think. This is what? The double strike, right? Oh, no, it's MRR cap. Damn, okay, never mind. Do I have shards? Shard. I do have shards of Mechanus. I could actually use shards of Mechanus. 4-piece shards of Mechanus has a effect which gives it so that you heal a d6 every time you hit somebody. And I have 1 ramp. Not all bad. If I had another ramp, that would be okay. Was general every please answer wasn't just for you. I understand you're not the meta kind of person. Well, also, like I said, the question's just bad. Right? As Ipsum said, there are so many variables that you can't really compare two things. How many past lives do you have? What level of gear are we talking about? What level are you? Are you talking about leveling? Or are you talking about for endgame? What type of endgame? Are you talking about burst damage or sustained damage? I'll give you a comparative answer. So the question of what's better, or what's more DPS, Charisma Paladin or Half-Orc Fighter two-handed fighting? Here's a similar question. What's better for getting to work, car or bicycle? Now give me an answer. You don't know where I live. You don't know so the city. You don't know the type of weather that I generally live in, the traffic. You don't know how close I live to my place of work. Could be anything. It's very difficult to answer those types of questions in DDO. Again, I know that sounds frustrating, but Dungeons & Dragons Online is not like all the other MMOs out there, which is both very cool, because it means the game is very unique, and also very frustrating, because obviously you'll have situations like this, where you ask something that sounds simple, what does more damage? And the answer is, well, it really depends. There's no good answer here. Again, DDO doesn't have a strict metric. In World of Warcraft, a new raid comes out, and the new raid is what everything is compared against. That's it. Nothing else matters. Because that's the thing that you do. You get together with your friends, and you go do the raid. In DDO, that's a little more complicated. Just send the Sporkle to all your friends. Now, send them to your friends. Albereth Wellen or Bulwark Torin? Let's go with Albereth. That sounds good. I'll buy a couple of these boys. Send it to your friends, do it. But you like your friends? No. Like 15 minutes? Yeah, damn, dude. That was a friggin' long time. Holy moly. Inputting each word one by one. Gorak's not here. Just send it to him. Be like, hey, dude, check this out. You should do this. You don't have this random gen armor? What armor is this? What am I looking at here? Oh, damn. That's kind of neat. Where does that come from? Like, what armor type is that? Is that some type of plate? I'm very unfamiliar with that type. Alright, Saltmarsh. Plain Forge Breastplate, interesting. Guess the Disney song Sporkle? No. I spend very little time on Sporkle. Also, I just realized I can't summon a hireling when it teleports me over here because I'm not near the beginning of the quest.
Doesn't remember how you ended up on this distant shore.
Well, that's good.
You tell him the story. A tale of pirates, a shipwreck, and an angry god.
Also, I'm running out of protection from evil potions. Hope that's not that big of a deal.
Back in Storm Reach.
Here we go. Let's get to the job. This won't take too long, fortunately. My character's pretty tanky and defensive.
You were accosted by a mysterious stranger.
This should be okay.
The stranger vanished as suddenly as he appeared. Then, Foxpaw hailed you from the water's edge.
I just explained that I can't summon the hireling.
The strange teleporting island. Foxpaw said he wanted to show
Alright,
you some
so now,
experiment
I'm gonna kill this lady.
mounted the magical artifact.
I don't know what the armor class is that I need to be able to hit, or like what hit chance I need to kill her, but it seems to be not too bad. And apparently I can actually land my crowd control ability, so for the most part this character should be okay for Isle of Dread. The big worries I'm going to have are if I have to deal with Kokru, if I can't stun them quickly, because they do charisma damage. And I do not have a lot of charisma, so that can be devastating quickly. It's a Disney song, and you have to guess what the song is? Oh, interesting. I'm just typing things in. Yeah, I don't really know most of the Disney songs that well. Didn't really watch that many Disney movies. I watched some of them, but not most of them growing up. Just the times. I don't know. I guess it is what it is. Alright, I'm just gonna chill and waiting. I literally have nothing to do here. It's just waiting until Vecna says his piece. I'll be excited when I get some more points. And I can get my third point here for the extra 6% double strike, which is pretty sweet because it gives me double strike and physical resistance rating. And then after that I get 2 more points, which I will then probably spend on Flickering Flame for the +2 to hit and damage. And then I'll probably get Unparalleled Accuracy as well because this is very good. Plus it's an extra 4. I literally don't even know the speech. I never listened to it.
Give the artifact to this half-orc.
Oh, monologuing? Yep. Well, to be fair, we can't do anything anyway. You're enthralled, so you have Vecna's presence, so you can't actually do anything. No matter what I click on the keyboard, my character never attacks. He's stuck, frozen in time. This is a good opportunity to eat chocolate. Christmas chocolate that's still in the house. Are these delicious Lindor chocolates? Dark chocolate? Oh. Oh, wow. That's tasty.
The effects of the god's
Oh, this is pod racing.
domination wore off hours later. You were imprisoned inside the brig of the pirate ship.
Okay. Anything else for VIP? They'll probably announce something at their anniversary. Important note, that is a guess on my part. I have no concrete data to support my guess, but I think that's what they're going to do. Because if they don't announce something at the anniversary, well, that'd be pretty stupid. So I'm assuming that they will. There's no live stream today? I don't know. I was busy. I wasn't watching. Also, the game was down, so I don't know what they would have done. Photo moved to Friday, someone said. Oh, it's the weekly Friday live stream. Interesting. That's easier.
A muffled voice called up from up above. All hands on deck.
The quiz to friends? Okay, perfect. Thank you, Cruiser.
The island is teleporting.
Yeah, and now you gotta send it to like all your friends that you have outside of gaming, your work friends, family friends, people that you're like tangentially related to, people that you know, like maybe the person at the coffee shop that you see every once in a while, and you maybe talk to them. Which one was Friday? Friday it's Court of the Rings. They can probably do the 2 shows back to back. Do the Lord of the Rings show and then the DDO show, or the DDO show and the Lord of the Rings show. It's the same guy. He just sits in his office and does the 2 shows back to back. I'm sure he could. I can't imagine why you wouldn't be able to do that.
The island has already teleported.
Send it to your mom and dad.
And the ship along with
Uh,
Know this. You are trapped.
what the hell is this, Cruiser Zero?
I will.
The name of our child?
I control the only way off.
It's a quiz. I'm sending it to you, Mom and Dad.
I will
Cruiser Zero, name of our child. Why are you, you know, in your late 40s, sounding like a kid whose voice is just has her voice cracking as it's developing? I don't know, Mom and Dad. I'm trying my best. But it's really hard. My name is Cruiser Zero. It's my whole first name. Why did you do that? I'm just very happy that I have a very regular name. Strimtom, it's easy to remember. Simple, straightforward. It's not like Hey You. Oh, what a good name. That'd be great. Someone needs to have a kid and then name their kid Hey You. And every time, Hey You!
And so we found ourselves held captive by the god Vecna, shipwrecked on the mysterious.
I don't know how you would exactly do the spelling, but that'd be a interesting idea. No idea. Name of dog Stay. Be funny. Alright. And now I grab every quest. And run the entirety of Isle of Dread. Nice and straightforward, nice and simple. Did they ever reopen the raid on hardcore, or is it just closed for the entirety of hardcore? I wasn't paying attention. I don't think they had a big patch. Yeah, I don't think so either. Important note, you shouldn't do the raid, because the raid will probably kill you. But it's just interesting to think about.
You arrive on the shore of this small island. In the distance, you can see the Koprus encampment.
Yeah, isn't relevant.
A fortified
Well, I mean,
stone
you could,
built
because the
into
items
a
can be
natural
useful.
rocky enclosure. Owen Reeves informed
You just have to sack somebody in your raid.
protected by a gigantic trap. Yet the Kopru also
You bring a sacrificial lamb. Oh no, they would get teleported away
and so
instantly.
they
They wouldn't be able to do
developed
it.
a defense mechanism to handle the beast. Just ahead, you spot the man you were sent to meet. Owen Reeve, a former slave who has been freed from the Kopru's mind control. You approach a group.
Wasn't there
of
something along the
guards
lines
who
where somebody was
stand
trying
at
to test
attention
out to see if
before
you
the
could get a
gate.
dog to do it, like an
When you
artificer
see
pet, where if you like jump and have the
charge
pet
forward.
bounce to you,
Enter the natural stone enclosure.
will
Inside,
go on top of
you notice four
the area,
ballistas along
and you can have the
perimeter,
pet use the
each
person, but
aimed
you
at
never
the
be able to
giant
see it. You
crab.
won't be able to target them.
Behind it, you see the cursed monolith in the hand of a tall statue. You overhear a conversation between a Kopru lieutenant and a
That was
guard.
easy. Damn, I do a lot of damage now.
Says the Kopru.
If for like hard difficulty, not for elite. But just compared to how much damage I was doing before, it feels good. Okay, so this quest, I guess I'd probably give tips and tricks on how to do some of these quests. So for this one, not too bad. Basically, what you want to do is prep you have to hit the crab here, and you want to prep this lever. It's left and right to prep it. So it's left and right,
The lieutenant crumbles at your feet.
and then you wait for the crab to lift itself up. It'll say like the crab is going to slam its claw into the ground or something. You can also visibly see it. So you can see the crab rearing up, and I shoot him, and then it's over.
Kopru officer appears, along with a
Also, this
slew
guy,
of
I don't know what
reinforcements.
his goals are,
Crab
but
emerges from the sand.
definitely not helping the team.
Rears up, exposing its
Poor
belly.
guy.
Now is your chance
And that's
to
Crab Quest.
mobilize
Pretty
the beast.
straightforward. Also, if you break all of the breakables in this room, you get the breakable bonus.
Into the sand.
Ooh.
Reinforcements enters the arena. The crab emerges from the sand. It rears up, exposing its belly. Now is your chance to immobilize the beast.
There we go.
Bolt careens into the crab's underbelly, knocking it off balance and stunning it. The force fields surrounding both the crab and the monolith fade away.
Yeah, I'm just gonna step in here. I think he mentioned that his dad passed away, so you probably shouldn't keep talking about it. I figured you would have caught on that, but I'm just gonna step in here. Anyways, that's a new crab quest, and now I got an item: the Defender's Cask. This item is pretty cool. It's got healing, devotion, wisdom, immunity to fear. A really cool item for a character that isn't my character because I'm a fighter. But yeah, unfortunately, there is probably a world where this could be useful in fighter. I'm basically waiting for like something that gives repair. Fun fact about Isle of Dread is is there a single repair item? I don't think there is. I think there's just the belt, the chain of manacles from the previous quest chain. But what are you gonna do? I don't think there's a repair item in here. Is there a repair item in Isle of Dread? There's 2 healing amp items. You can craft repair. Is it the bracers? I think you're right. Yeah, it's the bracers. There's a set of bracers that do it. DDO bracers. There is a repair item. There's one. You were right. It is the Admiral... No. Copper bracers? No. The bronzed bracers from Fall of the Forbidden Temple. Repair Lore Reconstruction. Which, in the field of bracers for like repair items, it's pretty good. It's not a bad repair item. Yeah. Plus, it's got the scale slot, which means you can craft... I could put strength on it if I wanted and have the bronze bracers. Pretty sweet. Also, important note, I just hit 3,000 favor. Woo! I got all the rewards on Hardcore League solo, except for the Reaper ones. Yay!
Harnessing the power of the nearby
Yay! Woo! Also, I don't want to fight any of these oozes, so I'm going to ignore them entirely and just assume that it's not going to matter that much. I guess I could break a couple weapons on him. Like my old weapon. Yeah, it's not too bad. Important note, this fighter build is already available. I posted it, so it's in the description of all of the YouTube videos that I posted. I've also had many people message me like, where's the build? So it's there. It's easy to find. I also have people message me because I spent too much time talking about Path of Exile in some of the videos. So I have all of my Path of Exile characters now linked in the description, so they're easy to find. Because I've just talked about it enough. And I've had people ask me, like, yo, what's your Path of Exile character? How do I get a link? What's this? I need to do this? I'm like, I do have an answer for you, but... There we go. All dead. All dead oozes. Hello, Mr. Dorak. How are you doing today? How is your day going today? That you have your god tier necromancer helmet that you can use for doing god tier necromancer stuff. It's actually not that god tier. It's like reasonably good. You can probably get a better one.
causing rocks to surface, then submerge.
Just get an item level 85 bone helmet.
Though dangerous.
With the fracture. Expect cruiser 0 sends weird stuff. I mean, yeah, exactly. You expect it. That's the point. You expect that it's going to happen because it does, and then you're all set. See, that's what it is. It's all about just being prepared for the future. So we talked about this in DDO and how that's the biggest thing that's going to impact your character is preparation. As long as you're prepared properly, you're going to be ready for any individual encounter that comes up. So just, you know, prepare, make ready, and you should be okay. Nice fighting. Thank you. I've been fightering all these guys for a while, and, you know, it's hard work doing all the fightering that I'm doing, but it's honest work. Somebody's got to do it. And my hit chance is not even that bad anymore. I'm now up to 116. When I get a strength item, Zooey Mama. That's going to be a good one. And we throw in the action hero for even more hit chance. Boom, look at that. 120 and 134. Oh my goodness gracious. My character's got so much hit chance, dude. Let's get him. Get the extra critical multiplier. One cut. Gotcha. damage this character gets. Oh, I can sunder him even harder. No, no fortification for you. Boom.
Won't be able to create more of these monstrosities for now.
Oh, right, because you want spell suppression. You need the evasion base. Oh, if you have evasion on all of your gear, can't you just craft evasion on it? Maybe. I don't think I have any spell suppression. I think I have literally 0. Not really important for the build.
I could prepare for every encounter, or I could play cleric or sorcerer or bard or druid or warlock or...
Yeah, true. Honestly, true. You could prepare to play the video game, or you could literally just play one of the character classes and needs no preparation. I'm checking for the rare that's here. There's a crab. You can tell that the rare is here because you see a giant crab here. It's not here, so therefore I didn't see it. It usually spawns by that big bone over there. Look at these giant bones. Think about the size of the animal that would have a set of bones like this one. Holy guacamole, that's a big set of bones right there. It's a big set of bones. Creature tree is still up too? Oh yeah, I'm not taking this thing down for a while. I'll probably take it down when I like come back from my vacation, but definitely not before then.
The beast known as Saltmarsh has been terrorizing this part of the bamboo grove. It's time to hunt him down.
Nothing the Maven Show throw at me except the beam that almost kills you. Oh, nice. Yeah, same here. I don't really take any damage from anything. But I have a combination of things. I actually need to buy more Eldritch orbs. Actually, you've been running Eater of Worlds, right? Or like the Eater of Worlds things? Would you be willing to part with some of your Eater of Worlds currency in terms of trade? On vacation now? Nice! That's great! Yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited for my vacation. I'll probably have the tree come down after I'm done vacation, or if it doesn't come down, it'll still be up. I'm going to rearrange the lights and have something to kind of take its place. So I actually really like the way the tree looks in the room. It's just really nice. It's cozy. It's warm. Sure, do I need the Christmas tree around all year? No, but do I like colored lights around all year? Yeah, I really do. It's just fun to look at colored lights. Like, it's one part laziness, one part I'm no longer sitting in the dark because I have this, like, bright colored light here. It's really cozy and warm. And cozy and warm is nice. This tree is a plastic tree behind me. We do have a real tree. It's just in the living room, and it's going out tomorrow. Because tomorrow is garbage day. So the tree has to go out in the garbage. The tree is garbage, dude. Get that garbage out of here. I get a holiday tree. And just move the tree slightly off camera and then move it back.
The massive Tyrannosaur eyes you warily, focused on protecting its kill.
Oh yeah, Saltmarsh. Dangerous dinosaur. Yo, what's up, Lardo Summoner? How are ya? Did you drop off trees? Nice. Yeah, they just take them in the trash. There's like a tree truck that comes around and takes out all the trees. Which is nice. Get rid of them.
Merely shaken by your strength, Saltmarsh smashes through the bamboo, exposing.
And they're basically bigger kobolds. So you're saying that if I have kobold master, or like kobold is a favorite enemy, it'll just do extra damage against them? That'd be pretty sweet. Could you imagine?
Saltmarsh lets out a defiant roar, then he launches himself back at your right.
Yeah, it's a little bit bigger than a kobold. I do like the way that they hop around, though. The T-Rex is like repositioned to get to a better spot to fight you. They have their big stomp. Again, the thing that I liked about Isle of Dread is there's more dinosaurs than you think in the expansion. Like before Isle of Dread released, I was like, yeah, they're gonna add like a few dinosaurs, like 1 or 2. They might have like T-Rex and like that's it. But they added so many dinosaurs. I was very, very impressed. And also Kopru on top of the dinosaurs. Now, the one downside is it's improbable that we'll get dinosaurs to show up some other place. Like, it would be cool if all of a sudden, you know, there's a new quest with a new T-Rex somewhere, or a Triceratops in another place. There are dinosaurs. Important note, there are dinosaurs in Eberron that show up. So you do have the Talenta Plains, of course, which is a part in Eastern Corvair, which is like the mainland. There's tons of dinosaurs over there. They got all of them. Triceratops, T-Rex, raptors, and that's actually why the Boromar, who are from the Talenta Plains, are a group of halflings, and they are halfling raptor riders. It's their thing. They catch them, they train them, and they ride them. Epic leveling in hardcore. Any tips on gear farm or when to start running Reapers? Yeah. So I would recommend, if you want to do gear farm, just check every day when you look, is there a gear farm group? If there's a gear farm group, just join the group, because you want to join it while it's there and not when you're ready. The reason why I say that is because if you join a gear farm group, usually the people that are in it will kill the monsters for you because they opened the group. And so you'll get XP, and you can get some items, which will save you time in the process of getting items later. The downside of the gear farm group is obviously it's a lot of repetition, so it's not as much XP if you were just leveling, but it can still be very, very good and lucrative. If there's no gear farming groups, then I would recommend just going and leveling up. As far as when you should start running Reapers, when you feel like you're not going to die and you feel like you can contribute, that's when you would want to start running Reapers. If you don't feel comfortable soloing a quest on Epic Elite, you probably shouldn't be running Reaper mode. But yeah, depends. I hope that kind of makes some sense. I know there's a lot of like vague stuff in there, like, well, you should probably do this, but I don't know. Like, yeah, the unfortunate reality is that there's no like correct answers to exactly how you should be doing it. Generally, the higher level you get, the easier it gets. So this character being level 31 and going to level 32 here on Hardcore League, once I'm at 32, I should be pretty ready to just like, jump in and do some farming. I'm not going to do that with this character because I'm going to put it away and do something else. Because I've been playing this fighter for what feels like 100 million years. Want to do something else? Oh, here's the easy list. Press the P button on the keyboard. So here's P, go to Adventures, sort by Epic. If you're level 20, start at 20 and go from there. There's just a couple of quests you should 100% avoid, and that one is which one is it? Storm the Beaches. Don't do Epic Storm the Beaches, it's going to kill you. Everything else, is manageable, but Epic Storm the Beaches is exceedingly dangerous. Also, if you're unsure, depending on what character you're playing, start with hard mode, and if hard mode felt really, really easy, then try Elite. But don't go to Elite first if you're unsure, because if you go to Elite first and then you die, you can't undo that. This also depends on how much health you have. I don't really feel comfortable playing Elite difficulty on or Epic Elite before 1,000 hit points on Hardcore. Yeah, Prove Your Worth is another good one to avoid. The only quest I do in the pirate area is Two-Toed Tobias, because then you can pull yourself a Black Blade of Jack Jibbers, which isn't helpful, but it is funny that you can get one in Hardcore League. The old Black Blade of Jack Jibbers on Hardcore. It's the perfect set of equipment that you don't need. Oh, man. I've actually never pulled one on Hardcore. Although I do run that quest, fairly regularly during the leveling process. All right, hello, Captive Hunter. Give me your stats. I'll take this lever. As far as items in Isle of Dread, I'm honestly not sure what I would like. There is a trinket here that would be super good. That would be a fun item. I don't think there's a Bastard Sword in Isle of Dread. I don't care too much about that. Never pull one in any server? Yeah, it's a rare item. It's not as rare as a Nebula Fragment, but it's still pretty rare, I'll tell you what. But the fact that these things only have 3,000 hit points on Legendary Hard, but they have 12,000 on Legendary Elite, it's so maddening. Monsters get hard, man. They get challenging.
A grate can be heard closing as you enter the chamber.
And your second run through in Saltmarsh? Nice, here you go. Mentioned more than once. What are those used for? For making perfected artifacts. If you don't know what they are, just Google either Nebula Fragment or perfected artifact. And you'll find it on the DDO wiki. There's a list of all of the perfected artifacts that are there. You need the Nebula Fragment to craft them.
The ground beneath your feet gives
They're artifacts that have 4 slots as opposed to the standard 3, which made them really big deal before Isle of Dread released, where all of the Isle of Dread artifacts have 4 slots. Still, they have unique properties that can make them very powerful, such as the Jits Tetka, which has a whole unique set of bonuses for when your character is using the any monk stances. So that's a big deal. You've also got what else is there? There's like special properties. You have other ones that are like really good. There's also a lot of really bad ones. Oh, Perfected Dragon's Eye gives you quality to both intelligence, wisdom, and charisma, which you don't need all 3, but it is nice when you have at least one.
Freed from the druid's influence, the Triceratops seems to be much more docile.
So it's not bad. Other good ones.
Stands, eyes to put in gate, and charge.
There's one of them that has like a curse built into it, which is kind of cool. I think is it the Twisted Talisman, I think? The charge gauntlets do a ton of damage, so they're not too bad. The perfected goggles of time sensing are also reasonably good. There's a whole list of them. I don't know if they're separate here. They're not. So they're actually not. There should be a separate list somewhere. Where are they? Is it DDO Nebula Fragment? It might be on the Nebula Fragment page where they are. Yes, it's on the Nebula Fragment page. Elemental Essence is bad. Don't worry about that one. Jitsetka is amazing. Demon Consort is okay. It's actually not a bad item. Just hard to convince yourself to make it. The Torque is actually also technically not bad if it wasn't for the fact that we got Primal Avatar right afterwards, which replaces most of the stats on it. Golden Guile is interesting, but not super important. Twisted Talisman, yeah, it has the... It's just a lot of stats on it. Twisted Talisman just has a lot of different stats, so it's nice. Charge Gauntlets, again, it's the damage. Sovereign Lightning Strike. Salt Pearl Ring has the Anthem. Anthem Melody La Victoria, which is very good for bards. Perfected Red Dragon Helm is extremely powerful and has Magma Surge on it. Inner Fingers don't matter. Bloodstone is the worst one. Volcurum Pendant has the Volkur's Bite, which allows your attacks and spells to cause negative levels. I don't know what the proc rate is on that, but that is a good effect. I've just never heard anybody actually use it, but in theory, that's a good effect. Because getting negative levels whenever you attack monsters for free is very convenient, especially if it's on an opening attack. And the item itself isn't bad, so just depends on whether you need it or not. And the Darkstorm Helm is interesting. It is a helmet with alchemical air attunement. It is the only one in the game. As well as having Legendary Electric Storm, which deals additional damage on an attack. Meaning it's not actually that bad, kind of, because it has a niche use. But the stats on it are bad, and helmets are a really tough spot because there's a lot of really good helmets in DDO. So very difficult to convince yourself that you want to, slap on a perfected Darkstorm helmet. So I would not recommend that one.
The interior of this
Again, it's just one of those things where there's so many different effects in DDO, it's kind of hard to know exactly which effects are going to be good if you're unfamiliar with all of them. Like, is Alchemical Air Attunement that good? It just says it has a chance to add lightning damage, which is true. The damage is like 1,000 scaling with spell power, so it's really good, but you just don't know that until you actually get the thing. So it can be frustrating when you don't even know. Get out of here, enter caps. There's also a trick you can do in this quest to make it faster. If you want, if you have multiple party members with you, have everyone click the first pixie and open up the menu, and then everyone clicks the birds thing at the end. It'll save all 6 pixies right away, allowing you to skip a couple packs of pixies. Do a 3% proc rate. I mean, it's still damage, especially if you attack quickly. Again, I'm not recommending you build around this item. I'm just saying it does have an amount of value on it as a unique effect, on top of the Lightning Storm Guard that you get. I still don't recommend getting a Darkstorm Helm. Please don't do that. It's not good for you. It's not good for you. It's not good for me. It's not good for anybody involved. I just think the Darkstorm Helm is a cool helmet. It also has Call Lightning Storm, and I think it's a good... Is it a good Call Lightning Storm? I don't remember. I think on one of them they made it like cash level 30, didn't they? I don't see the caster level on the Call Lightning Storm, so I actually don't know if it has one. It just has 3 charges, so it might actually just be cash level, like 11, which would be very bad. Whatever the Call Lightning Storm cash level is. Call Lightning Storm actually is a very powerful spell. It's cool. They changed it. It used to have these really weird targeting requirements where it wouldn't hit most monsters, and now it doesn't have any of those targeting requirements, so it hits stuff all the time. It's a very, very fast-acting spell. Pretty useful. Works across instances? What do you mean it works across instances? As in, you get the gaze, you can kill people that aren't even in the same quest as you? Do they have to be in your party? They got somebody who's in the temple? Oh, amazing. Yeah, they need to fix that bug. It makes sense, obviously, that they would turn it off for hardcore league, although it doesn't make sense because you can't access it. But still, the precaution being there, I don't see most people running the Skeletons in the Closet on hardcore anyway, given how dangerous of a raid it is in general. Like, one lag spike when the Tyrannosaurus starts roaring and it's game over. Oh, a Signet Ring of the Earth! Nice. Useless item, but, well, for my character anyway, but still very cool. What would you choose, Greatsword Fighter or Great Axe? If you're a half-orc, I would probably use a Great Sword or a Falchion until you have access to both Deadly Strike and the Raging Crush. When you have Deadly Strike and Raging Crush, I would go Great Axe all the way. Because it gives you 2 attacks that are guaranteed to critically strike, and so you don't worry about the fact that you critically strike less, because Great Axe critically strike for more. And then once you get to level 20, you throw Fury of the Wild in the mix, and now you're just critically striking left and right. Everybody you hit gets a critical strike, and you get a critical, and you get a critical.
Some large creature has wreaked havoc on the surrounding landscape. An islander surveys the failed trees and crushed huts. No doubt he's the...
I don't actually think you need to talk to that guy. I think it's only for the quest, or for the optional. And then also the fact that the Sword of Shadows can't really be beat, so yeah. If you happen to have a Sword of Shadows kicking around, it's the best one, but yeah.
A hideous creature commands a group of marauders below. The marauders seem...
Oh, well, you can just respec later, right? It'll only cost you like 1,000 platinum or something to respec at level 12 or higher when you actually get the upgrade for it. You don't have to pick Great Axes now. You can, but the respec isn't expensive. You don't see why everyone likes the Sword of Shadows? Huh. Hey, you got an artifact, a Dino Bone necklace. Cool. For those that don't know why the Dino Bone necklace is very good, there's a couple reasons actually, so I'll just kind of go over them right now because I got you all here. Number one is part of the Dread Islands curse set. This set is great because these are all profane bonuses. Usually item sets will say artifact. So this autumn set that I'm wearing is artifact bonus to this, artifact bonus to that, artifact bonus to this. Profane is a different bonus, which means all of this stuff stacks. So let's just say you're playing a melee character using a melee set from Sharn. You already have melee range power, or melee power. But this is profane, so it stacks. And this gives profane physical resistance rating, so it stacks. And profane to hit and damage, so it stacks. Very cool. Also, you can craft all of these slots to pick exactly the gear that you want. Also, this item has a higher level on it because it's an artifact, which means it has higher stats. So a scale in here, you can get main stat, so you can get any one of these. So let's say I get strength in the scale slot. It gives 15 because this is a dinosaur bone artifact, whereas a regular item would only give 13 if it's before Isle of Dread or 14 if it's in Isle of Dread. But you can get more on the artifact because it's a higher level slot. Basically, artifacts, you can think of them as like being like 3 or 4 levels above the standard gear level, because they're meant, you only get one and it's a really special item. Plus you have to craft it as well.
As you splash into the
Valheim for Christmas. I'm trying to find silver remains, which is fun for me. Must farm more burial chambers, last 3 doctor cards. You've been farming out the doctor cards? Damn, dude. Also, I can't fight the Coeliopsis in the water, unfortunately for me. But look at that armor class. They can't hit me. About 4 others. Oh, nice. I was gonna say, because I've got I pulled a winged divination scarab that I'm probably not going to be using for a while. I'm currently running the Atlas passive where I can't use any fragments because I have a lot of different things, so I'm going for XP instead. Trying to get to level 98. I'd be like, why not level 100? I do want to get level 100, but I'm not going to, so I'm shooting for 98. It would be really cool to get to level 100. I'm just not gonna. I swapped a legendary dreadnought. I think at level 27 or 28. No, I swapped a legendary dreadnought for doing the mountain. We're doing Stormhorns. Because Stormhorns is a little bit more dangerous, and I wanted something to be able to do with Shader Kai and other things quickly. So I swapped before then. And it's been serving me very well. Having displacement, turns out, very good. Being able to knock down targets, very good. Bypassing armor class, very, very good. Extra maximum dex bonus, very, very good. Level of juice, no delirious or anything? Oh, yeah. Yeah, I find realistically all you need is volume. So, like, I was running Expedition, Breach, and Legion, and I found I got a reasonable amount of cards. Oh, no, I'm not running that. I'm now currently running Breach, Abyss, and Harvest right now, as well as bosses, map bosses. So I have all of the passives that give me increased chance to pull a in-game boss map. So I have like, I think it's like plus 14% chance to pull at least one of them. So every like every 5 or so maps, oops, Epic Elite, wrong one. Every 5 or so maps, I grab a end-game boss. Realistically, I'm just trying to farm Cortex, but you know, by finding the maps, it's supposed to bind them. Because Cortex is... Cortex. 30 chaos. No, 300 chaos each. 380 chaos each. 400 chaos each. Yep. Chiula breaches. The section forces them to all be Chiula. Oh, interesting. I just took the Chiula passive, and because the Chiula passive also doubles Chiulas that are in the map, so every time I get a Chiula, which is pretty much every third breach is a Chiula breach, there's 2 of them who shows up, so I just pop them both. It can be. You also need to get a skin of the lords. Or a skin of the loyal, sorry. The only way that I've actually gotten a skin of the lords is by trading in divination cards.
Hey Strim, S for Supreme, yoga today, why yoga so hard? Synchronize the breath with the movement. Yeah sure, how about we start with legs not collapsing?
I will say, as somebody who used to do yoga all the time, I don't anymore. I could probably stand to go back to doing this. It's good physical fitness. I used to do yoga like every day. The first entire month of doing yoga is awful. It's just awful. There's nothing good about it. You feel shit after every single time you do it. You feel like garbage. All your muscles hurt. It's hard to do anything. It's hard to move. It's hard to get into the positions. It doesn't get any easier. And you dread going back the next day where you're like, okay, I hate this. I hate this. I don't want to do this. It's surprisingly hard on your body. Oh, dude, it's so hard. Eventually you get past that hump and then it feels relaxing. But all these things were like, yeah, do yoga, it can be relaxing. No, it is going to be a complete nightmare for about a week if you start doing it every day. It gets to be easier after that, but the first week, every single time, it's not easier than the last time. It is just as hard, if not worse, and you will continually have a bad time. Get him out of here. Loyal the Chosen, yeah. It's pretty rewarding. Sometimes people buy the Breachstones. Yeah. I've been just running the Breachstones. I need XP. And by just running them, I mean running the Chiula Breachstones. Break. Sunbreak. Get him. The other Breachstones I have been turning into, or I've been using for, Maven. We're running Maven fights with them instead. Where you get the other 4 Breach Lords. I think it's the Formed, or whatever it is. I'm gonna run them all. Get some Awakened Gems, and, other stuff.
The pull of the lever is followed by the sound of a door.
Or says the guy in Tanglewood to you? Tanglewood? Oh, Tanglewood Gorge. Yeah, it's a siege. It's you have a numbers disadvantage, so you use guerrilla warfare to win. Does it make sense to me? It sounds like Strongbad making up a video game. Honestly, yeah, kind of. There's just like so many rules and things. I talked about this I think yesterday, but one of the cool things about that video game is because there's so much variety and so much variance that like there are tons of like 1 in a million pulls. 1 in a billion pulls that happen to people every day, where like you get something that is literally so rare, it's just not going to happen to people outside of 1 in a billion chance, which is kind of cool. Just a neat thing. That doesn't happen in DDO. The highs and lows are not nearly as high or low because you can get your drop chance of 33%, and realistically, the items don't really change. There are very few items in this game that have like crazy effects. It's usually just like stuff adding up, where you get like a +1 here and a +1 there and a +1 there and a +1 there, and eventually you have like a whole bunch of stats. So it makes it feel very different, and that's one of the things that just draws me to the game and makes it fun to talk about, because you can describe that experience where this crazy thing happens, like, whoa, I got this 1 in 80 million chance. It feels good. Or similar is insanely exciting. Yeah, I freaked out when I got my apothecary card. I literally freaked out. I didn't know what to do.
Then the whispering stops, and all you hear is falling water.
I was like yelling and shouting. It was crazy. It's super rare. It's probably somewhere along the drop chance of like 1 in like what? Like 1 in a trillion, probably even less. Hey, what's up, Canverse? How are you? Are you yelling at the video game? This is exciting! Exciting! Maybe I should make a dinosaur bone weapon with this character. Do it solo. Oh, a new belt! Cool. Belt of Black Sands. Con 14, which I already have. Invisibility Guarded. Ghostly. Stats I don't need. Alright. Well, that's easy. Doing okay? How about yourself? I'm doing alright. I have been having a weird allergic reaction today, which I don't love. So my voice is a little bit raspy. And my energy is a little bit and my focus is a little but I'm doing okay. Rest well over the break? I didn't. I didn't really get a lot of sleep. I love the feeling of holiday. I like the idea of a holiday. I despise the holidays, specifically like Christmas, New Year's. I find it the most stressful, hardest time of the year for me. It is very difficult for my brain to deal with it. So I apologize that my stream schedule is a little up in the air around that time. It's just like the worst mental health I have all year is Christmas time. I can't stand it. It's the worst. It just makes everything worse. So it is what it is. And now it's the new year. It's all of a sudden January 2023. A brand new time to explore all sorts of new things. And I'm excited. 2023 might be a good year. You never know. It could happen. Yeah. I also get excited whenever a divine drops. Specifically, I right before I turned on the live stream, I did my last sanctum, or not did the last sanctum, but like I did a thing where it's like not choose a reward. You beat a boss and you get to choose 2 rewards for the end of or for the next like floor that you do, and one of the rewards was 2 divine orbs at the end of the sanctum. All I have to do is beat it to get 2 divine orbs. Kinda cool. I'll take it. Actually, Run, I don't know if you know this. I don't know this. Can you get the invocations without doing the special challenges, or do you have to do the challenges to get the invocations? Judging by the fact that you said you don't have a Sanctum Farmer would make me guess that you don't know the answer to that question, but I also don't know. Yeah. Because I tried finding the information, and it's very hard to get that information right now. Because the 2 challenges that I got, one of them is do the entire Sanctum without getting hit 1 time, and I can't do that. And the other one is you cannot recover anything at all the entire Sanctum. I also can't do that. I probably can't. Did you do the special thing? Probably. That's usually how video games work, where they're like, hey, do you want to get this cool reward? And you're like, yeah, I want to get the cool reward. Like, cool. Do this insanely tedious and challenging thing. Oh, man. I much prefer when, like I said, the benefit is just, like, general excitement, but yeah, I'll take it. Anything is good. Yeah, you're Captain Kira. Just make sure you choose to go Dennis after you get Ye Flask. Choose to go Dennis? I don't know what you mean by that exactly. But I have a feeling that's just you responding to me talking about Path of Exile, which is basically speaking in a foreign language.
Door nearby grinds open.
Or do you mean go to Denny's? Which, on Christmas time, honestly, not a bad idea. Oh, strong bad. Yes, I gotcha, I gotcha. I gotcha. It's been a long time since I've watched some Homestar Runner, and honestly, when it comes to different types of references, usually they just, like, live out of my brain, and I can't remember most of them. Brain small, I can't help that. Important note for this room. The final boss here has Power Word Kill. Power Word Kill is an instant kill with no save. if you are in this room without death block, you're going to die because it will hit you with power word kill, which has no saving throw on it. So don't be caught with your pants down. Avoid power word kill. Got her. There's a treasure chest over here, I think. Yes. What's up, Zexian? How are you? How are you doing? How's your day going? How's your 2023 rolling? Hopefully it's doing pretty good. My 2023 is going pretty good. Feeling great. Still really warm in here, though. So I've been having the window open like basically all day for the past 2 days, and it's still so warm. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's because I'm like just deeply sick, and so I'm super warm. Like running a fever all the time and I don't even notice. I don't think that's the case though. It's just warm in here. Really weird. Generally heat good, but sometimes heat bad, you know? Right now it's time for Bullywug and Booby Traps, a quest that is aptly named because it is full of traps. This is the High Trap quest. This is fully avoidable even if you are playing as somebody who doesn't have an ability to disable traps. You can just kind of jump over all of them and I'll show you the path to do just that. There is one dangerous room. I think most of the rooms are pretty safe to run through and jump through. But yeah, one of them is terrifying. So, and we'll show you that route here.
The door opens, revealing
Okay, grab these. Hey. Okay, here, Bullywugs. Oh man, I'm really excited. This character is gonna hit level 32, solo fighter, feeling good. Put a pin in it. Today. Not that I don't want to play this character. I'm actually having a lot of fun with the fighter, but as I've said this before, I find I get like really stressed out if I play the same character for too long. I like to change it up all the time. So that matters. Alright, here's the first set of traps. You just wait for them to show up and then you walk through them like so. They go in order. 1, 2, 3. Pattern recognition. Just go through when they're up. And then second, this one, jump. Remember I said you need to have jump for everything? Do it. Jump, 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 jump. Jump over all of the things. Goodbye, Swamp Tribe Warrior. Get him out of here. And same thing, just jump over all these traps, jump over all these traps, jump over all these traps. You can probably just run through them, but jumping through is not too bad. If you have access to the jump spell, even if you're doing this in Heroics, right? So this is a level 7 quest, so you do this at 9. You should still have like House Fjarlin buffs, so you can jump over top of this, or a jump potion inventory. Again, I said it before, and I will say it again. Please have the ability to jump over things lodged into your character somehow. It's really important. Like, I can't stress enough how important it is to have the ability to jump on your character. Like, it really matters. Jump, man. Who knew? Who knew how valuable it was to jump in the video game? The answer is all of us. We all knew that. That's why I'm passing the information on to you, so you can have it too. Being able to modulate your jump height is a really cool feature of Dungeons & Dragons Online. It is something that you don't get in most MMORPGs. So, I just appreciate it. It's just so weird to go from playing a game like Elder Scrolls Morrowind, where not only can you modulate your jump height, you can fly, to Oblivion, where they got rid of flying and levitating, but they kept modulation of jump height because you can get acrobatics as well as strength both factor into your jump height. And then finally, in Skyrim, they decided to get rid of all of that, and you can't modulate your jump height at all. And then follow that up into Elder Scrolls Online, which is an MMORPG, which also can't modulate your jump height. I don't know how people can see it. I don't see the thing. Maybe it's because my eyes just suck. I always have to walk over and look at it. Red. And... oh, red. They're both the same. Nice.
As the last sigil
The producer's letter was just take jump in UMD, handwritten for 9 pages. Yeah. I wonder when the producer's letter is going to be coming out. I assume it would be probably around the anniversary of the game. Damn it, I haven't fallen down here in a while. There's traps down here. Gotta be careful. Oh! Oh, thanks, HCP. Appreciate that. Very kind of you to say. Also, my posture very good. I'm sitting up straight. Gotta keep that back straight, because if you don't, it's gonna cause problems for yourself in the future. Possibly. It's not guaranteed that there's gonna be a problem, but it's more likely. It's the same thing when it comes to pretty much everything in medicine. There's like, oh, is this thing gonna be bad? It's more likely to cause negative outcomes. It's not necessarily the case that something bad is going to happen. Every body is different, unfortunately. So, you know, for you it might be bad, for another it may not be as bad. Does my defense effect go off? I'm gonna see if I can. I'm gonna wait for the reconstruction because I don't know if it actually works. Because it's a small chance when you get hit, so in theory it should go off eventually. I don't know why I'm curious about this now, but I'm just really curious about this right now. What the odds are of the reconstruction. That'll determine whether I keep these bracers on. Let's just say that. End of February is the anniversary. Yeah, but even if they don't miss me, it's still a pretty low chance. It also may not work at all, so we'll see. What exactly does this say? Small percentage chance to cast a reconstruction on you when you take damage. Oh, there it is. So, odds are low. Really low. Huh. Alright, so this room. This is the dangerous room. Okay? This is the most dangerous thing. One, the bullywugs actually take damage from the traps here, so you can lure them all through the traps. Also, some of you might have seen it. A bullywug always runs over here and gets stuck under the stairs. Apparently there's two of them. It's really stupid and annoying. So keep that in mind. These traps knock you down when you run through them. If you don't have a trap character, I would recommend either getting Featherfall and coming from the top and trying to glide over, or you want to, just try to jump over them if you can. The traps knock you down when they hit you on top of dealing damage. So timing it, jumping over it, these are the key things here, because they're quite dangerous. You're also not able to leave the room until it's over. And as you can see here, these bullywugs are having a rough time in this section, so just be careful about that.
As the lever lowers, several of the flame jets sputter.
And because they're like 2 flame jets at a time, it's basically like getting hit by 2 traps at once. I will say this quest can be quite dangerous, especially in heroics. In epics, it's not that big of a deal. And if you're in a group in epics, it's really not that big of a deal, because even if you get hit and knocked down, it does like 400 damage. So if you're level 32, you're going to have like 1200 hit points, even 400 damage. That gives people lots of time to just like heal you and get you out of the situation. Not so you shouldn't take care, but just it's not as big of a deal as it would be for the heroic version. Also, there's a trap here. Take this rock, line up with the rock, and then run across. Right, so directly in front of this rock pile, where you want to run across so you don't fall in the pit. And of course, you have an extra boss just hiding out in here.
A bulky bullywug menaces you.
The bulky bullywug. Love it. For some reason, doesn't really have more hit points. Even on the like legendary, elite, and higher difficulties, that guy almost instantaneously dies. He has like 30,000 hit points on R10. Well, on elite difficulty, the health is the same, and so 30,000 hit points. Like this character can do 30,000 damage quickly. So I don't know why its health is so low, but it's really nice because it means you just blow him up. Break all of these, get them out of here. I gotta say, I'm really enjoying Dire Charge on this character. It fits. It fits very well the type of character that I was building, the fighter. Oh man, I'm so close. So close. Also, the final quest in this chain gives a huge amount of experience points. Actually, the last two are going to give a lot, because the Stone Temple Chronicle, Stone Crypt Chronicle, gives a lot of experience points, and so does the final quest. And this one too, actually. Like 84,000. The Dread does give a lot of XP. which is why, even though the fact that, you know, you need a lot of XP to level up from 30 to 32, it didn't take most people that long. And I still remember there were a lot of people that banked like tons of sagas before the level cap increased so they could go the entire way. And then they ran Isle of Dread on Epic Elite the first time, or Reaper mode. And if you run Isle of Dread on Reaper mode for the first time, the whole thing is worth like, I think it's like 1.6 or 1.7 million experience points, which is like most of the way there. So, you know, you can definitely save a lot of time, or, you know, could have saved a lot of time. But some people really wanted to like be prepped, get that level 32 right away. I didn't. I just leveled my characters by playing them. Plus, it meant more runs of Isle of Dread, and more runs of Isle of Dread equals more Isle of Dread materials. Crafting Isle of Dread weapons and armor is very cool, and accessories. The downside is it requires a lot of materials, and crafting materials can take time to acquire. Okay, so this quest. I'm going to show you my route and how I do this quest, so you can follow it too. I usually go here. I go all the way down here, and I climb up this staircase. If you want, you can clear out the rafters that are here. You don't have to. I'm just showing you as an example. You could do this. In case you're doing this in a group and other people are following you, the benefit of clearing out the rafters is that way people don't get attacked by them in the future. Anyway, we're going to go up this staircase here. And go up this way first. However, there's like dinosaurs in this area, so just walk around and beat them all up. Beat up the dinosaurs, and we're all set. This route is nice if you have a... Nope, don't do that. This route is nice if you have a dash and movement speed, because if you do, with a air dash and movement speed, like spring attack and sprint boost, you can pretty much just dash right across from here to here, which is very nice for just escaping this area when you're done. I don't start going left. I guess you could. I don't. I start going this way. Maybe it's not the right path, but it's the way that I'd like to go. Anyway, now I gotta solve some puzzles, which will take me a very short period of time. Just do one of these, and one of these, and one of these. One down. This one's always the right side here. So you go on this side, you ignore that side. It looks like it's the right one, but it's not. And this one connects really simply through the middle. Not every puzzle needs to be, like, super challenging to do. To be fair, though, I have, like, the muscle memory from doing a lot of these puzzles. I don't know how many times I've ran this quest. But it's been a lot. This is actually one of my favorite quests in here. I highly recommend doing it, because it's just fun from a gameplay perspective. The story in this quest isn't amazing, in terms of just, like, extra details and tidbits, but the actual, like, gameplay part of it, I really like it. It reminds me a lot of like playing a level in Super Mario 64, where it's this like big playground with secrets and things to collect and lots of different optionals. It's a lot of fun, so I really enjoyed it from that perspective. So if you like any of the Nintendo mainline Mario video games, you'll probably have a fun time with Stump Crypt Chronicle if you treat it as a mainline Mario Nintendo video game. One that's left, it's easier to get to the end. Probably. That sounds right. Alright. And I'm going to grab the crest. The number of times I've left this dungeon or this area without grabbing the crest because I went underwater, pulled the lever, and then didn't came back and never picked up the crest after opening the gate is too damn high. I've done that way too often. Like 100,000 times. Goddamn. Alright, and now we go here. And climb up this thing here. The patience. Only had more movement speed. I'm gonna run over here. One of the things is to collect all the eggs, and going around and collecting and trying to find all of them in all the different areas in the quest is fun. All these different areas. Oh, yeah, it's such a good quest. It's not going to be everybody's favorite, but I personally like it quite a bit. It's also very fast if you split up, because you can have one person go to each one of these different crest areas and then go to the end. The XP is quite good if you do that. It's the nature of a lot of these quests, where the amount of experience points you get is a lot higher if you happen to have a group who can split, which is something you've probably seen from some of the videos that I've put out of like a very fast leveling experience. It's splitting up is really the key. Getting some people to go one way, some people to go the other way, and kind of all meet back in the middle. I still don't understand why they didn't just put an orb over top of this crest and then have the, like, or a barrier over top of the crest, and have the barrier go down when the mummy was dead, instead of the solution of making it so that you have to kill the mummy as part of the thing. Like, I feel like one of those solutions is easier than the other, but hey, whatever, it is what it is. Also, this is the harder, this monster is harder than the final boss, so I'm gonna use my action hero thing right now. This final boss is a pushover, but Munaket, no, not a pushover. This also gives me the movement speed to move around. I really like the red from this armor. I've never actually used Sphere of Souls, which is interesting because the stats on Sphere of Souls are not that bad. It's basically a Ravenloft statted piece of gear, but with the Feywild sets on it, which makes it kind of interesting. So it's got the same stats you'd expect from a Ravenloft docent. Yes, exactly. Yeah, you used to soft lock if you DDO'd out because you couldn't go back into the room. Because the door would just close. Yep, 100%. Because you DDO'd out, and then you have to kill the mummy, and you couldn't go back in and kill the mummy because there was no way to get back into the room. You just had to tell people, hey, don't DDOR. Don't take Dimension Door. Don't do it. You know, I always said Dimension Door is like one of the best spells and it's super convenient. Yeah, don't use it here. Bad time. Usually in quests where Dimension Doors cause problems, they put a dimensional lock to prevent you from using them. But in this quest, Dimension Door is so useful because, like I said, if I'm here, I can instantly go back to the start, which is right next to the end. If I am at the crest that's in the water, same thing. And if I'm in the mummy, I guess technically the same thing, once the mummy is dead. This quest is actually plays really well with Dimension Door. Just unfortunate that there's that one section. Also, I said the mummy was the most dangerous. On hard mode, on elite difficulty, this Ettercap is going to kill you. It will kill you. It does a lot of damage. Be careful. Ettercaps are extremely dangerous on elite. They are not to be trifled with. So just please, please, please be careful around Ettercaps. All right. Anyways, you don't climb up here. I don't know why I'm doing that. I just, like, get distracted. Another reason why I like this quest is just the excitement of generally climbing around. It's good times. Anyways, walk over here. Climb up this staircase. Like so. Nice and easy. Nice and simple. You can go and climb on top of this. Jump over here. And then slip and fall. I have never actually been able to make that jump. I've seen lots of people make that jump. I don't know how to do it. It's like an area I'm not going to that's or an area that I go to that's wrong.
You can see that this door is locked with 3 crests.
Also, Crazy One was slain. Rest in peace, Crazy One. Level 7. People still dying on hardcore this far into the league. Troglodyte Warlock. The Warlocks you gotta be careful of. They cast Fireball, and they cast Slow and Hold Monster. Not Hold Person, Hold Monster, which means the DC is a lot higher and harder to deal with at the lower levels. So, Troglodyte Warlocks can be quite scary. You're gonna first encounter them in Old Grey, or sorry, not Old Grey Girl, the Troglodytes get, where there are several near the end fight which kill people usually. That's usually what gets people is the Troglodytes at the end. What you do is you just stand all the way back at the beginning of the room, and you just fire a bow, like, at the Troglodytes from the bridge. Just the pace spin? It's just the pace spin. I have the builder file if you want it. I don't think I posted it anywhere. Or did I post it in the Discord under Fighter? You know what? I'm gonna look. No, I did not post it, but I can. If you want the builder file as opposed to just the pace spin, I can post it there if you want. Yeah, of course. Give me a second here. The file.
Now you are free to search for the treasure without danger.
There you go. It's there. It's now there. It's done.
A hidden cache of treasure, along with the book you've been sent to find. You take the book from
I got the shuriken. All right. You might be like, "Oh, dude, did you want that shuriken?" No. I'm not a shuriken. I'm playing a big robot with a sword. Oh man. sometimes, you know, the game just likes to treat you. Oh, do you know somebody who likes to throw things, Cruiser? Also, Lom Slinger, I had a good time. Did I have a good time? I don't know. I actually, you know what? I didn't really have a great holiday, and that's okay. Sometimes you just don't have a good holiday, and that's perfectly fine. Like I said, December like 23rd to January 31st is the worst, or not January, to December 31st is, in my opinion, the worst time of the entire calendar year. It's the hardest time of the year for me. I don't like it, and I wish I could just go to sleep and then wake up on the other side of it every year. But that's not how the universe works, so now I'm just here in January, and I feel great. 2023 has been really good so far. I've had just good things happen. So I'm having a really great 2023, and it's going to continue because, for those of you that have not been in the loop, I love streaming here on Twitch to provide fun content for all of you guys. And I love posting videos on YouTube. And I like posting character builds and all sorts of cool stuff. You know what else I like doing? None of those things. That's right. Sometimes I like doing nothing, which is why next week I will be on vacation. I will be away for an entire calendar week. During that time, I'll have videos being uploaded onto the YouTube channel, so you'll have plenty to watch. So every day there will be a new video coming out, so you'll have something to watch from me, even if it's not directly the live stream. And then I will be back after that. You know, it is what it is. It will be a week gone. I know that might be difficult for many, but I really need a vacation. I haven't taken any time off from streaming since I started streaming full time. And I didn't take a vacation before that because I didn't have a vacation. So I haven't taken a vacation since 2019 at all. Just had weekends. Weekends.
We have arrived at the ruined temple at the heart of the
So sick. I haven't really liked holidays since I passed away. I still do it for the family. Yeah. Yeah, on that one.
It's time to find the temple.
Leave stream chair on stream while you're gone. I don't think I can just leave the chair on the live stream the entire time. I think I might get in trouble for that. Because they had that, I remember they had that whole thing about, like, you have to actively provide content for people. I could probably just put the chair on camera and then leave a timer on screen that says, like, time until I get back from vacation. And then just literally have the live stream going and a timer that counts down. Yeah, my worry about leaving the lights on is fire hazard. Because I won't be in the house. I don't really like the idea of leaving the lights on while I'm not here. Jeff Bezos says that stream share is good to go for the solo stream. I mean, I can look into it. I'm going the whole time. Yeah, I would just play the stream and then also just tell it to run as many ads as possible. The old stream running in background, easy. It's not a bad idea. Just they'd be like, yeah, play 35 ads an hour. It was not sort of vacation, rude man. It was definitely not a vacation. It was a fun trip, but it was not really a vacation. I was so busy the entire time doing so many different things. I was really going from place to place to place to see people. It was really fun, and it was a really good trip. But like, realistically, I only had. Oh man, I did so many things. It was a really good trip. Again, not a bad time. Just. I think of vacation as a time when you can feel relaxed. If that makes sense. Not like do nothing, but just a time where you're feeling relaxed. And I find travel, especially for any type of like specific purpose, like to see somebody, something like that, or to like the reason why I don't really want to take a vacation and go visit like Europe or other places. Not that I don't want to go there, but I wouldn't want to do that as a relaxing vacation, because vacation is like not having to do stuff all the time, and going when you travel, you usually have an itinerary, and itinerary equals having to do stuff all the time. You get really stressed out. Oh, it was very cold. Oh, yeah. It's time, though. It was, and the one upside is the weather still was pretty good. It was, like, kind of cloudy most days, but there was no real rain or really anything that got in the way, which is nice. At least I don't remember that. My memory sucks, so... Yeah, me with you guys, getting breakfast, hanging out, spending like 3 hours watching Jerry Springer, which admittedly was actually a very, very fun time. So, you know, I don't really have a lot of complaints about that. that was fun. Hey, what's up, Deadshot? How are you? We'll do today 66 degrees. Oh, 66 degrees. Damn, that does sound chilly, man. Yeah, because also during the trip, I had like several different things I was doing with SSG at the same time. So, and if you remember, I got to preview The Alchemist, which was kind of cool. I got to go record a whole bunch of footage. I interviewed some people. I recorded a bunch of stuff about Alchemist and a bunch of videos and things, and a bunch of stuff I had to sign an NDA, so I can't even talk about. The other line, my baby ain't the father of your baby. And through a chair. Dude, that's awesome. It's just such a good TV show. It's just good entertainment, good TV. Like, is it good for society? I don't know the answer to that question, but just really compelling television. Copru. Okay, so pro tip for dealing with this room. The Copru are quite dangerous. So what you do is you can break all the orbs with a projectile weapon. By using a projectile, the aiming. Oh my god, this is why I'm bad at shooters.
The last orb shattered.
The orbs being shattered means that the barrier is gone. The Copru only spawn if you go near the edge of the room, so you just go through the middle, and you spawn none of the Copru. Very convenient. Important note, on Elite difficulty, and if you have no magic resistance rating, and on Heroic, the mud hits really bad. So don't do this unless you're super tanky, or you know, you're prepared to do that like this character is. One photo barbecue place, and how absolute shit barbecue it was. Oh man, if only. If only. I mean, to be fair, though, like, I wouldn't have very high expectation from a Boston barbecue. Not that I'm saying that, you know, there's something wrong with the people in Boston. They can't make a good barbecue. But, like, that's not what the city is known for. You know, that's not their claim to fame. I think I got that shuriken, yeah. Feel effect everyone knew it in the audience? But yeah, of course it is. This is compelling television. It's something fun to watch. Be able to log back into your account again. I didn't receive an email that it expired after your 2 weeks. And there you go. Yeah, it sounds like you had a 2-week suspension going on. So happy to hear that you're cleared up. And just be careful and try not to get another 2-week suspension, because if you get another 2-week suspension, it's probably not going to be for 2 weeks. You have to find one crest in each of these little alcoves. They can be under the water and hard to spot. Also, you're going to notice I'm going to go in the middle of the water. There's these jet streams. These are acid traps that knock you down. I'm immune to knockdown, so I don't have to worry about it. If you walk on the side, there's a good chance you're going to get killed. So in this section, just go in the middle and just jump through the water to make sure you move faster. Don't get distracted and walk on the sides and accidentally get killed. I've seen too many people die to that, which is very funny, but also very sad. Stun this guy. Kill these guys and get them out of here. So now I gotta find the other crest. Again, other crest also down here, because there's the Copru side hallway here and the side hallway here, and these ones are where you get the 2 crests for the door. Crack up my ooze beater. Get out of your ochre jellies. And there it is right there on the wall. But with Alchemist is their heals can't be quickened or self-targeted if you don't have ground underneath you. I will say, when it comes to the Alchemist, I think that for the most part, I don't care about the self-targeting. What I do care about is the quickening. So I don't think they should quicken it. What I think they should do at this point, that now that we know that Alchemist, with the best healing spell in the game, and heal admixture, it's the most throughput you can get on a spell. Now that we know that that's in the game, and it's not overpowered, because people obviously aren't using it as a healing Alchemist, what they should do, in my opinion, is make it so Apothecary Tree, each core gives 5% increased cast speed with admixture spells. So a capped out Alchemist has 30% increased speed, which is not quickened. Quicken's 100%, but it means that you can at least get closer. So the Malignant Deep here, just be a little careful, because the Malignant Deep has a couple effects. One of which is it casts Iceberg on Elite difficulty, including in Heroics. Iceberg can hit you for over 200 damage in Heroics, so be very mindful about that. This creature is not to be trifled with. You know, be careful around this one. It will get you.
And so this chapter ends.
Here we go. Smash. Smash. And that is Isle of Dread complete on Solo Fighter. A lot of XP, 119,000. Damn. No items, though. Big sad. Now we teleport back to the Isle and hand in the quests. By hand in the quest, I mean hand in the Saga. Get some more XP. And then figure out what to do after that, because I'm not capped out. But I'm close. I'm so close. Legendary Isle of Dread Saga reward. Yes, I would like to take some experience points. Thank you. I need 280,000 XP to go. I'm going to grab the Flickering Flame here for +2 to hit and damage, because that's just useful. I'm going to go grab all of these guys and take all their Heart Seeds. Heart Seeds. Again, Heart Seeds are used for reincarnation, which is why I'm taking them. I'm not going to use them here on Hardcore. I'm just going to bank them and take it back to my home server, so that I don't have to farm them out ever. Because by having just more of them kicking around, I never have to farm them. It's the same thing that happens here from Hardcore, is from running all the quests. Not all the quests, but by running many, many quests in early epics on Hardcore with multiple epic characters, I can then, since I'm not doing any reincarnation, take all the tokens of the 12 back as well. It's nice. Seed and Heart Seed. Decided I was going to try and kind of kill Match Life and discovered I don't know how to play a wizard. Well, now's the best time to learn, because you have no choice. You already made your character, and you're there, so you might as well learn it. The best time to learn is when you have no choice but to learn or improve or get better, because the alternative is much worse. Do I need the Barovian Bastard Sword anymore? No, I don't. Keep the Epic Ethereal. I don't need any of these items or armors or whatever. Keep that helmet because it's cool. I'm keeping the Thieves' Tools because the Thieves' Tools are neat. I can pass them off to like other characters of mine or other people. I can't use the silver hair dye. Get rid of all of that. Bam. Like how I almost have 1 million platinum. My charismaless fighter. If I was playing a bard, I'd have close to 2.5 million probably at this point. Oh man. All right, we're almost there. I have like maybe a quest chain or 2 left, and then I'm done. I'm free. Also, characters at 3,063 favor, which means I've earned enough favor to get all the rewards on Hardcore. So again, not too bad. Even playing solo, able to get it, doing a lot of quests on hard difficulty, not too bad. What day did it reset? It's 1 week from when you rolled. Yeah, it's 6 days, 18 hours from when you last rolled. It's when you do it, exactly. Some people prefer the global reset because if it means it resets on a specific day, so let's just say it resets at like 7 o'clock on Friday, then that means that as long as you get to it at like 6:55 on Friday and press the button, then at 7, boom, you can press the button again. But the upside of 7 days is it's literally 7 days, so it means that you can, or like 6 days, 18 hours, so you can always check back every once in a while. Everything in DDO is X amount of time plus 18 hours, or like 18 hours instead of a day. So like as an example, daily dice and daily gold rolls were 18 hours, not 24. And raid reset timers are every 3 days or 2 days and 18 hours. Because it's just better that way. It gives people more leeway. So it means that if you, let's just say you have a very regular schedule. You work a 9 to 5. Congratulations. You get home from work at 6:30 and you start playing your video game. It feels good. You do your gold roll when you log in and all is fantastic. Then one day, you had to work late. And you had to get groceries because you had to pick up dog food on the way home because you forgot your dog food. And then you get home and you're tired. You got to make yourself dinner. And then you got a phone call. You get on the computer at 9:30 at night. You do your gold roll. There you go. Well, now the next day, if it was 24 hours, you'd only be able to do your gold roll again at like 9:30 at night. But because it's an 18-hour schedule, it means that you can do your gold roll when you get home again from work. Because it's now freed up by like 3:30, so you're in the clear the following day. So I actually prefer it that way, but I can see where some people might prefer it the other way. All right, well, I guess I have to do some adventures. What would be good for this character to do? No Saga bonuses. I usually like Peril of the Planar Eyes. Peril of the Planar Eyes is not bad in this range, so I think I'm going to do that. I'm going to do the first 2 of Temple of Elemental Evil, I think, instead. How much do we is good enough for melee to start at least in our 4s? Ideally, you want to be north of 150. So my character is 120 right now. I don't have strength, insightful strength, or quality strength. I don't have accuracy, insightful accuracy. All right, I have accuracy, but it's level 20 accuracy. I don't have insightful accuracy. So I'm missing. I don't have any filigree sets. This character can get up to 150 with a little bit of gearing. I just have to get the gear. Raven Sight set is also fantastic if you need something for extra hit chance because it gives artifact attack and damage. Plus Isle of Dread gives profane attack and damage, so it's a lot more. But attack, it's important.
You could help the zombies till the land, no brawn no toe, contrary to current research unbelievably.
I know. It's what the plants crave, you think about it. Alright, let's go. Impossible something one day if the cooldown is exactly 1 day. Yeah, exactly. I really like the way that SSG does it. There are some games and some things that do like literally 24 hours from the last time you did it. And eventually it just means you skip a day because you have to get later and later as you go through. So I like the way that it happens in DDO. I really like it, actually.
The doors had been sealed with soft iron.
I have to fight my way past the gelatinous cube, don't I? Yeah, I do. The old cube. Oh, yeah. Mickey Pious. Mickey the Pious. I could, but I don't know. What if I just fight the cube? You know, what if I just show you guys what it's like to fight? Because I'm a fighter. I'm gonna fight my way out of that dungeon. I'm gonna fight that cube. I'm gonna fight everything. What if that's the solution, huh? What if that's the solution? Just fight them. I'm not playing a make piecer. You know, I'm not playing a dimension doorer. I'm playing a fighter. I'm gonna live as such. Stop warbling. No. No. Damn it. Please stop singing. Damn harpies. Eventually, I will be able to make an action. There we go. I hate harpies. For that purpose. They're are they giving any benefits to the VIPs for replacement of the daily gold rolls? So, for those people that missed a bit of history, bit of DDO history for you, there have been people that have been complaining about the value of VIP for a very long time. It's been several years, actually. The complaining really got big when the Saltmarsh expansion released as a mini expansion, and basically it was just something that was not available in VIP. People were pretty upset about the fact that VIP is usually for the quest content, and the quest content was being excluded from VIP for that time. So, in an effort to kind of address some of these issues, Strimtom Games decided that they wanted to make VIP juicier. They wanted to do something that would make it more enticing for people who want to VIP to add value. I personally think that's true. What's something they need to do is to add value to the game. It's a good idea, and I'm happy that they also had that conclusion. However, they didn't actually know what to do as of the beginning of 2022. I know because I had Hilaro, the producer of Dungeons & Dragons Online, on my live stream, and interviewed them, and we talked about all of this stuff. So I have first-hand experience with all of these things. However, what she said is that while they didn't at the time have a plan, in the interim, while they were implementing something, they were going to find something that would work, and that would be the daily gold rolls, which were returning. And then by the end of the year, they would have something. They would be retiring the daily gold rolls because they would have something that they were going to be doing as a replacement to really beef up VIP to give it that extra value. So presumably, if that is true, then we should be getting an announcement at some point soon that is going to talk about what the new added benefits for VIP are. And my best guess would be that those announcements would come right around the time of the anniversary event, which is next month. So in February is the anniversary of Dungeons & Dragons Online, so I would expect to hear more about what's going on with that, either as we get closer to February or literally in February. Now, that being said, there's also the second half of that, which is that there's probably going to be some live streams going on between now and then with Cordovan, Community Manager, and people are going to be asking him questions about it all day, every day. So we'll probably hear some tidbits about it on the next live stream, which is apparently going to be this Friday, which will be when they actually start talking about what they're going to be doing, if there isn't a post about that sooner. But that's what I know for now. I hope that they're going to be doing something to add as a replacement, because they do need to sweeten up the VIP pot. I think that part of it, they also look through metrics to see how many people actually decided that the VIP was worth it for them for the daily gold rolls versus other things. I did a poll of my audience, and the majority of people said they were not VIP specifically for the daily gold rolls. Not that they didn't like it, but that wasn't the main driver. And so I think that that's also possible that that's something they may be looking at as, like, you know, some data or metrics there to be like, well, if it's not the main driver, maybe they need something else. So I don't know. 40%'s a lot. I'm not saying it's a small amount. I'm just saying that that's just here. And based on the online complaining I've seen from some people already, I wouldn't be surprised if there was also a higher correlation, but again, we'll see. Good day, Strimtom. I just returned to DDO today after 3-4 years, enrolled in Fist Monk since I went free to play, and I want to thank you for the build you posted on the highlight changes of the monk. Oh, I'm glad to have been of service, the Andor. Hope you're having a good day. Hope you're feeling good. And thank you for both tuning in, enjoying the monk build, and I hope you have a lot of fun. I apologize, I didn't answer your, or didn't respond earlier. I was in the middle of a rant about a thing. 40% of people polled in my audience said that they got VIP because of the gold rolls. Yeah. Yeah, so we'll take a look in a bit. I am curious. I actually do want to see what the general reaction is. So I might have to pull out the old elitist cap over here and start doing something I'm apparently not allowed to do, which is read the forums, a public website, while live streaming. Is that assault? Oh, I'm excited. Yep. And so I'm very excited for that. Did they say what they're doing? No, they didn't. They did not say anything about it. Nothing.
The Earth Temple key begins
Team-related VIP been butchered or gutted? Probably. They probably said VIP has been butchered. There were some people... I did a very cursory glance because I was kind of curious about what the general reaction was. We're going to take a look in a bit. I just figured I would give the community manager some time to, like, you know, ban the really bad ones and lock the really bad threads, and then we'll take a gander afterwards. You have to be VIP to know. There's a newsletter, and only VIPs get to read it. That would be amazing. Oh shit. Oh shit, that's really funny. Oh man, that's way too good. That'd be awesome. As we talked about before, where it's like only VIPs actually get to read the patch notes.
The strong winds
that'd be fantastic.
chamber suggest that this is or was the air temple.
Yeah, like I said, I just want to give him a chance to like lock the threads and stuff like that, and then go and then take a look at it. Do you think DDO ever did? Oh yeah. Important note, before people are asking like, oh, well, why are they doing this? It's going to destroy the game. Yeah.
This area
I don't think they're going to destroy the game, but they're definitely going to throw revenue away. So, because people, like, even though people are going to be very hyperbolic, and a good chunk of the people that say I'm unsubbing are not unsubbing, not everybody is. But some people who say I'm unsubbing don't unsub. That's just how it works. That's why they're still there, still playing the game and still subbing. But that being said, you know, if they did decide that they were not going to put anything back to replace it in any capacity, nothing at all, that would be stupid. I know that, and you know that. If they don't do anything, that'd be stupid. So, it's literally just throwing revenue in the garbage. Because people are going to unsub, and then they're not going to be getting their rewards, because they're not getting the rewards, and they're going to be losing money. Easiest connection you can make in the world. It's a bad idea to just do nothing. I also don't think that the people that work at Sandstone Games are stupid. You know, people make mistakes. Not everybody's perfect, but as somebody who's had the chance to talk to many of them, I don't think they're idiots. They're bad at communication. That's just straight up true. So that's why I'm waiting to see what's going to come out, because bad at communication means they're canceling it because they said they were going to end it at the end of the year, and then bad at communication means we're not going to hear anything about what they're replacing it with for 2 weeks after people are already mad and they've already lost a lot of people's respect. There's that. Also, Clyde, welcome back to the stream team. Appreciate the support. Hope you're having a fantastic day. Glad to have you here. Damn, 19 months, eh? That's crazy. Thank you. Thank you for tuning in. You've heard most people suck at communication? Yeah, most people do.
This change.
Nah, they're not going to do nothing. There's a 0% chance that SSG isn't replacing the VIP stuff with something, given the fact that they have precedent of already sweetening the deal of the Lord of the Rings VIP benefits, which are really, really good. So, but it took them a while to actually, like, make the tech to do that. So, I wouldn't be surprised if they're doing something similar for DDO. Doing something close to that. In the Lord of the Rings Online, they added the VIP benefits. So on top of the stuff that you already get for VIPs, they didn't take anything away. So, you know, you still had your daily, or your weekly Hobbit gift. It's the gold roll, but it's the weekly Hobbit gift. And then they still had, you know, the 10% XP bonus for being a VIP and all the other, you know, whatever VIP, and the access to all the adventure packs and the 500 Lotro points a month. So standard, same thing as DDO. Basically, think of them as the same. What they added on top of that was the VIP rewards vendor. And it's basically a vendor who gives you a buff and an item. The buff makes it so that you no longer take item wear at all in the whole game. Your items never get damaged ever. And all crafting is basically instantaneous. So all crafting for pretty much the entire game is just like that. Usually there's like a little crafting bar, so if you want to craft like 100 ingots, you have to watch the thing go across, but you just go, it just goes like, and just machine guns its way through everything. So very convenient. The second is the town services item, which is an item in your inventory, and when you click it, it brings up a menu, and in it you can choose to use the shop, You can use the bank. You can use the auction house, your shared storage, your wardrobe. Pretty much every town service you could think of is available entirely from your inventory, which is why it's called the town services item. It is a game changer. Never having to repair is extremely convenient because if you're, somebody who does raids or you explore, or you do pretty much anything, you have to repair all of the time in MMORPGs. I don't know why MMORPGs love it when you repair, but you have to repair all the time. Great feature. The instantaneously crafting makes crafting so much more enjoyable all the time. It's a huge benefit, and it's very, very noticeable. Something comparable would maybe be like, imagine if like you didn't need to craft with as many like materials in DDO or something like that. Like the cost of Kenneth crafting cost was like cut in 50% or something by comparison. Although crafting is a little bit more integral to the system in Lord of the Rings than it is in DDO. But something comparable. And then it's on hard difficulty. Don't take a lot of damage. And then being able to access everything from your inventory would be amazing. Could you imagine how much more entertaining or how nice it would be if in DDO you had a thing in your inventory where you could sell whenever you wanted? You can just have like a vendor who you call and you can sell to them, or you can access your bank whenever you wanted. So you're like in the middle of a raid and you're like, you know what, I should probably grab an extra scarab. So you just like reach into your bank and grab the thing. You ever had that thing where you're like, oh man, I forgot to use my XP potion I had in the bank and I'm already in the quest? Boom, you just rip it open from your inventory. So convenient. So not saying that that's what they're going to do, but that is an idea of they saw a challenge of what people wanted, and then they met that challenge, and VIP feels really, really good in that game. So I wouldn't be surprised if they are going to do something for DDO, but it's also not really a shock about the fact that the communication around the subject kind of sucks. Again, I don't think anything malicious. I don't think there's any malicious intent here where they're trying to like, yes, they're trying to make more money off of people by giving them less for the same VIP. But it is just confused. It is definitely like a confusing thing where they took it away on Wednesday with no announcement of what's going on or what they're doing with it, since we know that they have wanted to sweeten the deal for VIP for a long time. Like, that's what I don't understand. It's not like it's secret where, people are unsure about whether they're going to be adding something. They're going to be sweetening the deal for VIP. I know because I talked to the developers. I have footage of it, them saying that that's something that they're planning on doing, and this was a stopgap. So I just don't know why there was like no extra announcement or something about like, even in the launcher, something like, in the coming weeks we will have information about new things for the VIP program. Yeah, exactly. There's just the fact that there's no announcement. That's the dumb thing. It's not really a surprise. That's standard, very standard Sandstorm games. It's like straight up, like one of their main ways of communication is by saying and doing nothing. But it's just kind of bizarre.
Entryway to Falrinth's chambers.
We talked about yesterday about a whole bunch of wacky things that would be very convenient, like the ability to teleport literally anywhere you want it. So if there was a button that would be like, if you're a VIP, you can teleport to quests. And when somebody shares it to you, you can say, accept and teleport. So you can teleport to somewhere if you want it. Stuff like that. Are we due for another content drop soon? Should a rework hit with that? We had a new quest pack. Was it in December? We had like a new quest pack like in December, so... or was it November? When did we get the new quest pack? Yeah, I would expect we wouldn't get a quest pack until the anniversary. The anniversary is probably when the next update's going to be, which is in February. And again, I also don't know what we're going to get in the next update, because it could really be anything. Who knows? We could get, like, a new archetype, because apparently they're not that hard to manage. Or we could get announcements about a new class, or some new extra feature. Oh. Alright, Falrinth, please come down. Thank you! Finally. So many times I've done this quest and he just stays up there. Very annoying. And hopeless. I knew that. Last quest pack is pretty recent. Yeah, I would expect February would be this one. More, yeah, the Moorgrave University. Grasp of the Hidden Hand, that's what it's called. And to remove the gold rolls too, so it's even worse. Well, they took the game down because it was maintenance. They do maintenance every Wednesday. That's not really a surprise that the game was taken down. Range Assault Smite looks like it's broken as well.
On a table in the middle of the room.
So just to clarify, so I can understand, when you say broken, you mean you press the button, your character doesn't fire anything or do anything, they don't even animate and nothing happens, or you press it, they animate, an arrow goes out, and it doesn't do damage to the target, or they press it, you press it, they animate, the arrow goes out, it does damage, but it doesn't do the smite effects or visual, or it doesn't do the amount of damage you'd expect from a smite. What is the part that's, like, you know, the part that's broken? Specifically, what's broken about it? I'm just trying to ask so I can understand. Alright, I'm going to do something stupid. I'm going to do the worst temple of them all, the Air Temple, because the Air Temple is where you get the Bastard Sword, and I might be able to get it. I'm going to spend a whole bunch of time running this dumb temple. We'll see. Also, this is going to be level 32. Which is very exciting! This fire makes it visual, but doesn't give the damage or the attack bonus. Okay, interesting. I know I used it, and it worked in the past, so it may have been some new bug that was introduced, maybe with, like, the Epic Destiny Pass that changed everything. I don't know. Because it was, like, early 2021 when they added the ranged Exalted Smite and the ranged stats. Touch the tablet. Yeah. Okay. The one upside about I think it's potential, but stupid either way. Give any AoE. Well, it's not supposed to. Yeah, it's probably very rarely used. The one upside is that even if that effect isn't functioning on your character, Paladin is still very good. You can still just do charisma to hit and damage on Paladin and just use Horizon Walker instead. So it's not like it's game over with the Paladin build. It's still going to function and still going to work really well. But just maybe not the exact way you were originally intending it for it to work. Which is with the Exalted Smite. Because you still have all, like, the many shot stuff. But still, not ideal. Let's kill a dragon. I think it's a dragon. I actually don't remember what the boss is in here. Is it a dragon? A giant. Oh wait, where do I have to go? Seek the runes. I have to seek the runes. I thought the runes were here. Huh. Oh, then I don't know how to do this. Hold on. DDO, TUEE, air node. Okay, so this is now a whole quest. Is there a map here that has the things? Okay, there's a locked door. It's a locked door. Oh, rune. Okay, I see it. The runes are here. So all the runes are in this place. Gotcha. The AoE is so problematic with ranged weapons having AoE. I think it's more of a game code problem than anything else. Where having an attack land and then do an area of effect on an attack and not a spell doesn't work. That's my guess. Again, conjecture. That would be my guess. Because there's nothing currently in the game that does that at all. So I would assume that that is something that is either, you know, very difficult to get to work, or something that they can't currently get to work. Man, this is like the worst quest in the game. I don't know, I have no idea why I'm doing this. Okay, I think the runes that you need are not always in the same spot every time. Because it's marked on the map that there's a rune here, but there's no rune here. Which means it's probably random every time. Doesn't the balcony thing have a ranged AoE cleave? No, it does not. Runes are the same? Yeah, this is... I don't know this one because I only did the full clear one time. God, I love harpies. Premium! Thank you. But no, it's not a cleave. Sadly. It has the... There's an AoE at the end of it that does bird damage, but it doesn't do your weapon damage. Because it doesn't do your weapon damage... secret door here. Can I open this? Does ranged blind, though? Right. I can't open this. And I wouldn't be surprised if that's one of the runes I need. So I think I can't get that one. Right, so if you want token damage, that's easily acquired. Like, if you're saying you want to have something that hits for like 50 to 100 against a monster with 20,000 hit points, that's very achievable. That's falconry. It's in the game. But ranged Exalted Smite is all of the attacks. It propagates everything. So if you use, or like Exalted Smite, it's a frontal cleave that does the whole damage to every monster. A ranged Exalted Smite doesn't do that because you... As far as I can tell, there are no attacks in the game that actually allow you to hit multiple targets with a ranged attack in an area of effect when you attack with it. Those are the runes. Are you sure? These look like the beacons are here to finish the quest. Okay, maybe I really don't understand what the runes are. Aha, this is what I was looking for. Aha! This is what I was looking for. Yes, 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 yes. Beautiful. Beat the blue dragon twins. I shall. Shavara tooth? Again, I'm just trying to get in that door. Going for the optional? Yeah, that's what I was talking about the whole time. I'm trying to get in to get the optionals because the what do you call it? This is where you get the final tap, the bastard sword. It comes out of this quest. It doesn't come out. It comes out of. It doesn't go to the chest. Oh, you were thinking I was talking about the other, like, the regular things to, like, just complete it. No, no, no. I know how to complete the quest. Yeah, yeah. Not completing. It's just the optional. I did the optional one time. And then I was like, this is too much of a hassle. And then I didn't do it again. And I haven't done it since its release. So, yeah. Okay. So, I don't exactly know what that did. But that's one. Oh, there's another one here. Apparently another secret door that I can't see. So I hope I don't need secret doors, because I can't find them. Just in case, I don't know if I need these, so I'm going to buy a twig. Door. Because I actually just don't know, and I want to learn right now, and I can't do that any other way, so I am buying a twig. Heard the sound. So where is it? Where's the secret door?
Quest received.
You're saying there's one after you open it? I didn't open a secret door, though. Oh, door? Oh, that's this. Oh, and I just closed it, so I can't get in there anymore. Well, I hope I didn't need that to be on or off. Tap can be gotten in all 4 nodes. It shouldn't be. Each chest has its own loot table, so it shouldn't be acquirable in all 4 nodes. Okay, so you actually do need to be able to search to be able to get all of them. Which makes sense. This problem with not having enough information. Because it feels like for example, Leopard's Chill only comes from the ice or the water quest. So I would assume that they divided up the treasure between all the different nodes as opposed to putting them all in each one. As an example. No. Go. Again, I've heard both that they do and that they don't, which is the reason why I'm not like out here to just trust that that's the case. Okay, so I'm missing 1 rune. Where did I miss? It must be one of those ones I didn't turn on properly, so I'm gonna go try again. I've only gotten Assassin's Kiss from the Fire Giant. Yes, I've had the exact same experience. I've only gotten Assassin's Kiss from the Fire Dragon and Leopard's Chill from the Frost Giant. So that's why I'm like confused. If that's not how it works, then that's fine. I'm still gonna try to figure this out. And if I can't get the door open, I don't know. I guess it is what it is. Okay, here we go. We're up here. Oh, that's the air jet. And that opened that door, this door, which led to that. So what am I missing? I'm gonna figure this out. This might be a very long, windy end to this character, but I'm gonna figure out how to get into this dragon. Yeah, now that I think about it, I don't think I've ever fought this dragon, got into this dragon's horde. Apparently there's a rune here somewhere, according to the wiki, but I don't see anything. Maybe it's up there and I don't see it. The room looks empty, but I don't know. I'm gonna climb around, see if I can find something. I literally have no clue. It requires search. Oh. I think you need to search for the rune? How much search do I think I need? Oh, so even though I'm trying to do it, because I don't have enough search, I wouldn't be able to find it? Unless I put on my plus 20 searching item, and I put on my artifact that gives me 14 intelligence. Of course. 53 search is what you need. Perfect. That explains why I've never found it, because you need 53 search to find it. And I never play characters that can search for anything. It's the reason why this video series should be helpful to some people, because I don't really disable traps most of the time, because I just don't have the patience. Not don't have the patience, but I don't always want to play rogues, and I don't really love multi-classing on every single character build to have the ability to deal with traps. So I just deal with not being able to deal with traps, and this is one of the routes you deal with it. You just miss everything, and you have no idea. This also explains why I was never able to figure out how to open this on the first time I went through it. But now it's open. Beautiful. Alright. Now, give me my weapon. Also, I don't know if both of these have things in them. Oh! Leverage! Oh my gosh. This item's useless. It's mine now. But yeah, anyway, let's finish this off. Let's get 32. Feeling pretty good. Get my strength, and then bam, this character's done. This character is done. So that's it. It's level 60 or level 32 feels pretty good. So how did the solo experience go as a fighter?
Good morning, streamer man. Would you
hey.
even have enough time to level the caster before hardcore is over?
I can level the caster in 4 days. So yes. Easy game, dude. Easy video game. I was going to go Bard, because Bard's really, really fun. Bard is one of the least tanky spellcasters in the game. And I'm going to do a Stormsinger, which avoids all of the hit points. So it's super, super, super low health. So it should be fun. But yeah, so anyway, some big summary. How did this character go? Well, overall, the only thing I really learned, for me personally, is that number one, the quests go a lot slower when you play solo. Like a lot slower. This probably took twice as long than if I was just grouping with random strangers. So in my experience, should you play solo? The real answer is some people don't really have a choice. They are limited based on their time zone. They maybe don't feel comfortable playing with others or, joining groups. But if you can stomach it, try to join a group every once in a while. The grouping panel right here is not super scary, and you can find some other people who'd be willing to play with you and help you run through some stuff. Do these people have a tank for their group? That person is a tank, so they're good. So you've got lots of opportunity to play with other people. But when you can't, when you have to play by yourself, remember, there's always a way to get around traps, because traps are really easy to, get beat up by if you know where they are, if you don't know where they are. But you can always prepare for stuff. This character, I struggled to have platinum in the early game. Now I have almost 1 million, and I never spend it on anything. Because you, in the early game, you're going to be spending your items on, or your money on potions. You're going to be buying your house P buffs, your health potions and resistance potions, and every potion you can pretty much come by under the sun, and it can be a very difficult experience generally to do that. However, once you're done, it can be very, very satisfying, because you can move past that. Once I was able to pick up, an epics, I grabbed this ability here, Divine Energy Resistance, and it was a huge step up for my character. Doing just a small amount of farming to get the Raven Sight, small amount of farming to get the Dusk Heart. Then my character felt super duper strong, and I really didn't have any scares even on the way up, even on Hardcore League, and Fighter felt a lot better than I was expecting. Plus, it was really fun to play a Sword and Shield fighter. Overall, I hope you've learned something over the experience, about the solo build. I think I will do a solo caster. I think it's going to be fun by contrast, just to see the kind of the two differences, because obviously as a caster, you'll have half of the hit points. Like if I level a Bard, it'll have around 1100 health right now at 32 without gear. Again, much lower hit point total, bigger contrast. So we'll see exactly how that's going to go, but we'll see that when we get there. So hopefully you've enjoyed it, and enjoyed checking out the solo fighter stuff, and we'll be doing some more as well. And it should be good. But yeah, that's it. That's all we got. Solo fighter. Custom Robo is going to be transferring off to another server. I don't know where. Why are bards less tanky than sorcerers and wizards? Sorcerers and wizards have the Eldritch Knight tree. Exactly. So, bards can get their hit points from the War Chanter tree, which is true. But War Chanter gives no spellcasting bonuses, just tank. Versus sorcerers and wizards get Eldritch Knight. Eldritch Knight gives disgustingly high amounts of spell power. Eldritch Knight, even if you do a small investment, gives you like 30 universal spell power plus an action boost for another 30 universal spell power, on top of giving a whole bunch of hit points, deflect arrows, armor usage, just all sorts of stuff. So the thing is, if you do plan on using War Chanter on a bard, you give up on a huge amount of your damage, or utility. Not even damage. You give up some of like utility and movement speed, some of the more selfish things, if you decide to do it on a regular bard. If you do it on a Stormsinger, then you have to give up points in the Stormsinger tree, which you don't want to do, or in the Spellsinger tree, which you don't want to do, because both are really high damage and really high throughput abilities.